Oh, there you go.
All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the stream. Tonight, we have Sammy from Built to Thrill, Bob from BK Photo Page, Ace himself, you all know him, and, of course, Tom from Tom's Tracks 99. You guys want to say anything before we get into the stream? Go right ahead. Dead silence.
I have nothing. I was really trying to get a witty line out, but I couldn't think of it fast enough, so let's just get started, I guess.
All right. So, as you guys can see from the title, today's stream is more so going to focus on the current state of Six Flags, at least the first part of it, all kind of going to give what our opinions are on the current situation, because obviously Six Flags is very different right now than it was a year ago today. Very, very different company. And I'm not talking about a specific park. I know my video that I recently put out, thank you guys all for the support on that video. A lot of people are getting confused thinking I'm talking about a specific park. It's not the case. It's the company as a whole. There's nothing wrong, in my opinion, with the individual parks. It's the company as a whole. So I already gave all my opinions in that video. So I guess we'll start with Sammy, if you want to go, Sammy. What you think about the current state of the company without being too critical?
Yeah, I want to stay pretty neutral here because I think you don't know what could happen. But I think when it's a good idea trying to go to a more premium experience, but you can't up the prices before you up the park experience itself. And when taking things away, such as we don't even know if Summer Vibes is going to come back, which was an awesome event. But if something like that doesn't come back, then I don't know what premium experience we're getting from these premium prices. And I really don't know how to elaborate off this, but hopefully throughout the stream we can kind of get more in depth with that. Off to you, Bob.
Bob?
Oh, well, I'm the most disconnected from this because there's no Six Flags within like 4 hours of me, and that one is Darien Lake, which shouldn't even count. So, exactly what Sammy said is what when I watched your video the other day, I was thinking about is like you want to raise the prices to get rid of this lower class of people, which was ridiculous to begin with to say that, but then you're gonna raise the prices, but then you're going to concentrate on like family events and family that nobody's going to pay the price you want to pay to get into those things like after the fact anyways. So I don't know, like everything is so counterintuitive what he's doing. It's like the opposite. Like if you're going to do something, do it. But like the things he's promoting are opposites of each other and they're working against each other. And that's causing a lot of this problem to begin with. It just doesn't make any sense.
Ace?
Go ahead, Tommy.
Okay. So, yeah, everything from Sammy and Bob, I 100% agree with. I am all for some price increases at some capacity, but I would like to see the experience go up proportionally with that. We got a taste of that with Summer Vibes, and it was, like Sammy said, a really awesome event. And I think that the company has some great ideas. I just think, again, the experience should go proportionally with the prices and maybe not as sharply as it has in such a short amount of time. And also, I think with the state of the economy as a whole, it's a really bad time to be pricing people out because already people are struggling to have basic needs met. And so by default, things like entertainment, like Six Flags, are going to take a hit And I think that has a lot to do with why we've seen the attendance go down so sharply as we have.
Ace?
Everything that the three gentlemen said, Sammy, Bob, and Tom, I pretty much concur with. But without being too negative, it just makes no sense what he's doing, because it's basically counterproductive, and it's a whole bunch of, when you look at it, based on even what you spoke and alluded to in your video, Colin, it's contradictory. And I'm just going to put the big word contradictory. That's all I have to say. I don't want to be too negative. I'm going to leave it at that.
Right. So, yeah, there's definitely a lot going on. It's all sudden, and the quarterly earnings call definitely reflects everything that's happened thus far. Like I said, if you didn't see the video already, I highly recommend checking it out. I don't want to kind of repeat myself by saying what I think, but I do think that I agree with everyone here. You know, you can't promise a premium product and charge for a premium product without that premium product being produced yet. It just does not work. I think it should have been taken slower, should have been done over the course of, say, 5 years, where you slowly transition. But even then, transitioning the Six Flags parks into family parks is not a good idea. Six Flags parks are not family parks. They're not built like that, plain and simple. So
Thrill parks. Six Flags are thrill parks.
Exactly.
And so many people have said, even in your telecast, even Brandon, that again, you rushed it. If you're going to take away memberships and do everything that you alluded to, you do it slowly. You don't do it like put the cart before the horse. That's exactly what he did. You put the cart before the horse. You have to do it slowly and in stages, year by year, probably in a 5-year plan. Somebody alluded to that in one. I think it was your video or somebody's, that you have to have like a 5-year plan to do that. Don't do that right away. It's just, that's why we're in the state that we are now.
It's really hard to have a 5-year plan at Six Flags because they get rid of executives every other year.
Yeah,
so
that's true. Just like the last 5 years, we've seen how many CEOs? Reed Anderson, then the other guy that was there last year, and then this new one. So yeah, just like 3 or 4 CEOs.
Now Salim.
True. Yeah, it's like so many in the 5-year plan. It's true.
Lots of people they've gone through.
Yes.
Now, we want to talk a little more about Great Adventure. So obviously, you know, Great Adventure's 50th anniversary is coming up in 2024. I can't say much about what I know, what I did know at least. But I think we all know what I'm referring to. So what do you think is going to happen following this? Do you think that the 2024 plans, or at least some plans in capacity of that to celebrate the 50th anniversary, are still going to go through, or do you think everything's going to get pulled back? I guess we can start with Sammy.
All right. So, well, if you're not in the dark, it's been all over social media already. The fact that a couple park presidents got fired, including the Great Adventure one, and he was the one pushing a lot of our additions, including Medusa, Summer Vibes. Like, you don't see Summer Vibes at any other park. But now we don't have him to kind of push us along. We don't know who's going to be pushing us along, and it really depends on that factor. And whoever they hire is really going to be like the be-all, end-all of whatever we get for 2024. Maybe we'll get like a couple little events here and there, but I don't see us getting anything big. Off to you, Bob.
Yeah, I agree. I think, but the only thing that in my head was like, it depends also on how early they sign contracts for things too, because it's like if they're planning on something big, how early do they have to sign that contract so that they can get started on time and things like that too. So I know you can back out, but like it does end up costing you a lot of money to do that. So it's tough. I would be willing to bet that any plans that Winkler had in place are not going to happen. And like you said, they might bring back Summer Vibes or do another kind of festival or something. And they're going to do something, but it's not going to be something huge, I don't think.
Yeah, at the very least, I think we should be getting a festival of some kind, or an event similar to Kings Island, how they celebrated their 50th anniversary. Maybe not to that scale, because I wouldn't expect something like that from Great Adventure, but we hear so often, especially in the pandemic era, how Great Adventure was really key to saving the chain and contributing a lot to the small profit that they did have. I would love to see us be rewarded for that. I really do hope that it is this big addition that we all seem to think we know. But with the way things have been shaping up, I'm not so confident in that right now. But if it does happen, I think it will be because Great Adventure Park executives have successfully pushed for it, because I don't see the chain or at least at the corporate level, making that commitment right now. Who knows? Maybe something is already in place and it's too late to go out and back out of it. But again, something to acknowledge the 50th anniversary of a park that the chain claims is so important to them would be excellent.
Sammy, Bob, and Tom pretty much said what I was going to say. However, this is something interesting that I just cogitated. It all is predicated based on what happens to Salim Basu. Because think about it. If we go through the same history that we've had the last 5 or 6 years and get a new CEO, that's going to be dependent on what his decision. So if Salim Basu is there, these 3 gentlemen are correct with the what Kings Island did for their 50th this year. And I hate to say that, but if it's a new CEO, we may get something big. So it all depends on what happens to the CEO.
So I think that it's really kind of a 50-50 chance right now.
Yep.
Because obviously you have rides like Dr. Diabolical and Wonder Woman that were in motion, too far along in motion for
True.
Salim to cancel them when he took over. So that's
Yeah.
why those were built. So
Yeah.
what really is the, I guess, question to ask here is what is the gauge for how long a project must have been in production for it to be canceled, right? So I would think that maybe the 2023 projects are also probably pretty safe in terms of getting canceled or not getting canceled. But then again, we've seen nothing announced, so who knows? And
Well,
on top of that, you have, the 2024 editions, which he took over in November of 2021. That's a pretty long time away. So it's really just a shot in the dark, honestly. I hope that we get something good, but I'm not 100% sure. And it looks like we have gotten a super chat from Jean Joseph Gray the Fourth. Thank you for the super chat. So the reason why Mike Spanos was removed was because of the investors. His plan of slow and steady wasn't good enough for them. That's why Salim is in place now.
Doesn't surprise me.
It's definitely very drastic from slow and steady to aggressive, nonstop, just change. I know on the Great Adventure Connoisseurs page, it's an interesting place, but Matt Kaiser has something up right now which has every single pass type at Great Adventure for this year. I want to say there's like 24 different pass types valid for this year. It's crazy.
And I think that's where the frustration is with people. They don't really necessarily care what the passes themselves are, but the fact that they're so overwhelmed by either the options that are presently available or versus what was available, but now all of a sudden, sometimes in cases of being months after they're released, they're getting canceled. I think that's where the frustration is and why people are just throwing their hands in the air and saying, forget this, and they're either going somewhere else or just canceling passes altogether.
And it's like Apple, they kind of try to like make you get the newest and best, which really it's going to screw you over in the end. But what are you going to do?
let's hope that they keep our memberships, because the good news is, I hate to say it, which is true, even though they gave us a $5 increase. I know you saw it and your dad saw it, Colin, to $29 for the Diamond Elites and also the Diamond Elite VIPs. Let's hope that we are grandfathered in. And I wanted real quick to harken back to the 2024. It's possible, because y'all very, very well know as fellow brethren connoisseurs, that the project could have been like 5 years planned, because it takes like 4 to 5 years to plan a huge roller coaster. Let's hope that it is far, along, that he couldn't cancel it. Let's see.
Yeah,
Colin, I was gonna tell you that Scott has entered the chat. Yeah,
I see that. Welcome, Scott. Yeah, it's an interesting place.
It's amazing to me, like watching the video from a few months ago when you first met Salim in the park, and you were like so excited about all the stuff he said to like what it's become in a short time. It's quite ridiculous.
Yeah, I should probably talk about that. So I'm pretty sure out of everyone here, it was just Tom and I that got to meet him. And, talking to him, he had very big ambitions, right? Like he was very adamant about what he wanted, what he didn't want. Like he pointed over to Johnny Rockets. He's like, you see that line? We don't want that. You should really walk up, buy your food, and leave. And then he was also talking about all the cluster that comes from the dining plan and how people with the dining plan wind up taking away from people that are actually buying food, which obviously is not good for them in terms of revenue. But he was very adamant about getting less people in the park and outpricing people that I guess he didn't want there, whatever that's supposed to mean. But it's definitely he's stuck to what he said. He wanted to make the changes he wanted to make, and he stuck to them. But that doesn't mean that they necessarily worked. So,
Yeah,
That's
and I think what it boils down to is there's some great ideas in there, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the membership flash pass thing, how it's now done through the app, that may or may not have been a Salim idea, and that's a great idea. That, as he's talking about streamlining things and technology, I know he mentioned this in the earnings call, that is helping that there's no longer a ridiculous line at the flash pass just based upon members trying to get their skip lines. That's a really cool idea. But I think there's other ideas that could have been executed a lot better. So again, great ideas in there, and I don't want to say horrible execution, but definitely rushed execution. This could have been a lot different had these ideas been carried out over the course of maybe 2 or 3 years, even.
Yeah, we have
Yeah.
another super chat from John Joseph Gray IV. Says the only reason a CEO can get removed is by both shareholders and the
Exactly.
board vote. The shareholders could vote him out, but the board won't because he's loaded it up with his friends. Yeah, the board. I feel like they have a very important decision to make. If they don't make it soon, there's not much they can really do. That's my opinion, at least.
Yeah, that's true. That's the only way to get him out. Just like the last CEO.
I'm curious,
that
does
guy
anyone
was
else here own stock in Six Flags at all?
No,
Not
Just
anymore.
me.
no.
Yeah, I debated even buying in the day of the investors call when it went down almost 20%. I didn't. I'm sticking with my hefty 2 shares in the company, but it was kind of alarming to see how quickly that stock took a nosedive after the investors call. That was kind of concerning.
Yeah, that looks ominous. That is not good. And
Yeah.
when just based on what he said, excuse me, and trying to lower the attendance, who lowers attendance and expect revenue? God, even a simple math,
That's why he
simple
raised
arithmetic.
prices so high.
It's simple. I know it's simple arithmetic, but still, you are basically gutting the attendance. You can't expect to have much revenue when you do that. That's when
Yeah.
I started having trepidation about the future. And it's just I hate to sound pessimistic, but you can't be really optimistic about that.
You're
Not good.
bringing out like a whole bunch of new words. I gotta like slowly interpret what you're saying. There's so many new
Basically,
words.
what I'm saying is that I had fears that this was going to happen. This was basically what was going to happen in the future. And then as for, I try not to be negative, but it's how can you be positive with them at this moment? I can't put the positivity hat on. I would love to, which of course equals optimism. It seems like it's pessimism, which means negativity.
Yeah, it's very interesting. So I want
It's
to
terrible.
one more thing I want to talk about relating to Six Flags, then we'll start getting into everyone's questions. Where do you see the company in say a year, 3 years,
Oh,
5
man.
years? Do you think Salim is still on board? Do you think the parks will actually adopt his plan and make it work? What do you see happening? We'll start with Sammy.
Okay, so another thing I've seen going around is Six Flags has been closed in a couple areas in certain parks, and personally, this doesn't look good to me. This looks like they're kind of like figuring out what parks get attendance, what parks don't, what parks maybe they'll cherry pick off and give to another chain or whoever will buy it. And I can see a couple parks going nothing clear, but like definitely a couple around, maybe going to the Bush chain, going to Cedar Fair, going to maybe Hershend. I don't know, but I definitely see a couple parks being cherry picked off, and this could be their be all end all plan, but we don't know. Off to Bob.
I don't see Salim being with this company very much longer, especially if the stock keeps going down. There's just no way. Like, I know like they haven't been able to like get to buy into anything the last couple people have done. Why would they keep buying into what he's doing, considering what's going on financially? Like, if they do, the company's headed like quickly towards bankruptcy again.
Yeah, I think it's so hard to predict something like this because I don't see Salim lasting very long, particularly if the stock continues the way it does. I was doing some of the math on the day of the investors call, and I think relative to the market cap, it was close to about 500 million that was lost from the company that day. I don't know about you guys, but if it were me at my job and I lost that amount of money, it would be my job. Like, there's no way I'm getting out of it with a talk about what I could do differently next time. And it's just so hard to predict on that front, as well as the front of what the chain might be getting in terms of additions into what parks. So I don't know. I don't know is my honest answer, and I wish I could say more than that. But it is interesting that some parks are closing some areas. Do we know other parks other than Six Flags America? Because I know the Mindbender
Discovery
area.
Kingdom closed 16 attractions, from what I heard.
16. That is
Yeah.
crazy.
Now, I don't know if that's permanent for the season or what, but
Same with
I remember
Mindbender,
seeing
because
that somewhere.
Mindbender, when I went to Six Flags America last May, was open. I rode it. I don't know why. I don't remember much of it from my brain getting rattled around that much. But
I heard they're trying to close the boardwalk at Fiesta Texas for the year.
and so I don't know what that's about. Is it just staffing shortages and they are sacrificing the, I don't want to say the weaker areas, but smaller areas of certain parks? Are they closing it with the idea that they're going to sell off some of these attractions to recoup some of that revenue? It's so hard to predict, but either way, I think the next year is going to be crucial overall in the plan as to where this chain goes.
Right.
At this rate, all the gentlemen on, I agree with. He will not be here much longer. We'll probably have a new CEO at this rate. I didn't realize it was $500 million. Wow, that's lost. So about 2023, yeah, we have somebody new, because this is just too much of a loss for the chain.
Yeah. Now, like I said numerous times throughout the stream, I think it all depends on if Salim's plan works. If it doesn't work, I think in a year he's gone.
Yeah.
If it does
by
not work,
2023.
he's gone. But if it does
Absolutely.
work, I could see in 5 years Six Flags being like a totally different chain.
That'd be
More
great.
on the level of Cedar Fair or SeaWorld.
Yeah.
However, just seeing the parks now and then having been to all the SeaWorld parks and Cedar Fair parks,
Yeah.
I don't see it that quick. That's a huge transition to make. And I truly think that trying to adapt Six Flags into a market that's already filled, which is the sort of in between Universal and say Cedar Fair, like it's not necessarily high class on a level of Disney and Universal. I'd say it's more like premium. That's kind of what I consider like the Busch Gardens parks. Trying to pivot it towards that as opposed to the more affordable parks is not a good idea, because that market is already taken up. They should stay in their own lane and not try to copy what someone else is doing. Because I don't know about you guys, but a lot of what's been being added to the Six Flags parks recently just screams SeaWorld, Busch Gardens to me. Like with the Summer Vibes Fest.
I wouldn't even call that
Six Flags
premium,
over Georgia
though.
had a beer fest. There's a lot of stuff.
No.
I still don't even call that premium. Premium is like Universal or anything overseas.
Or
like,
Disney.
Right.
Yeah. Like anything
premium.
overseas, like all those parks are
Those two.
premium.
Yeah.
Right.
And mid premium, which is the level just below Disney and Universal, obviously, is SeaWorld.
That's for
SeaWorld. SeaWorld and
still not
Hershey in the
premium.
middle. And then, of course, the lower tier is Cedar Fair. However, Six Flags don't even have to go all the way to the stratospheric levels of Disney and Universal and Hershey and the prices. They could just go right to what Cedar Fair is doing. That would be just as good enough for us, because Cedar Fair is really good with their parks. They're clean and they're really good. And I know Bob can attest to that with the Cedar Fair parks of the Great Cedar Point and the Great Kings Island.
Yeah. And I'm seeing a lot of stuff right now in the chat asking about Great Adventure and the 2024 stuff. All I'm going to say is, yes, there's visible evidence that something was being prepared. And I know somewhere... What was that?
Nothing. Land clearing.
Okay. I saw somewhere in here, my dad said that they probably started planning this in late 2020, which would line up with stuff we've been told by Winkler. But I don't know. It's really, really kind of just unknown, truly.
It's so up in the air right now.
I would really love to see Winkler retire and then just spill all the beans on Six Flags and what a just crap show it is.
Scott made a very good point here. There's money in alcohol in festivals, though. And if they can offer a bargain festival versus a premium fest, that's a smart move. You're very right. I think him pivoting towards families is kind of like it's not the smartest move. It's like he's only using one eye. The other eye, you should look at young adults. They love their alcohol. I've seen it. You got Tom, you got East Coasters, Coasters and Brews, all of them. They love their alcohol. And if you can offer alcohol in addition to the family stuff and kind of combine it, you're going to have a winner on your hands. That's what you should be doing.
Colin, if you keep agreeing with Scott, you're just going to stroke his ego. Just stop.
Mm.
Okay, well then. We're going to scroll, unless any of you guys have anything you want to add before we start venturing into the world of the chat.
No, I agree with the festivals being a good outlet for money making, but there has to be investments in other areas too, because that's just one piece of it. And I think that goes back to what you were saying, Colin. It's only looking through one eye. And as far as Six Flags catering more towards families, great idea, but that again is only a small piece of your audience. I think a good plan involves catering and adding something for every demographic on like a rotating basis of maybe a few years. So definitely, yes, try to develop new demographics that you're targeting, but keep in mind the demographics that got you to where you are and where you've seen that you've made money in the past, because they'll still be there if you do the right things.
Right. All
And I
right.
think they got to keep upping like how the park looks, and not just giving rides repaints. Because of course we need those, but like I was there like the other day, and I'm like looking at the pavement. I'm like, this area could use a repave, or like other things like that. Just make the parks look nicer.
It's not that hard
Yeah.
to do either. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Sammy's absolutely right. Like you walk through certain areas, even in Frontier, like you're like, what the hell is this? This is like, I know Colin's dad is good in the carpentry and all the other building, and it's like you got to rip things out, not just too many patch ups. You got to rip the whole square out, and you repave it, not repave it, but rebuild that square or triangle. Very very simple,
Right.
you know. And the parking lot. Wow, I thought the parking lot would be done. Jeez, you got a lot of work to do.
All right, so I'm gonna scroll all the way back to the beginning of the chat. So we're gonna try to go through this relatively quickly because this chat is absolutely packed with messages.
It's
a lot more than I'm used to.
A lot of repeated stuff too, though. So
a lot of repeated stuff too. So we're gonna, if you guys do see your stuff get skipped over, that's because we already mentioned it from someone else.
Oh, good.
Or we don't like you.
Hello, everyone. I'm just gonna reply to everyone very quickly. Hello, DJ Blue Breeze. Hello, Olaf. Hello, Joshua Norman. Revived. Sky Guy R12 Turn. FYE Coasters. Lots of people in here. Hello, everyone. All right. First one. Where did the Great Adventure Giga rumor come from? I have yet to find a source or evidence that supports it. I don't know what you're talking about.
I've
But
seen
there we
Giga
go.
rumors
I've-
just
it's
as
kind of
much as I've
just
seen
been
launch
there.
rumors, as I've seen dive codes. It's just depending on who
There's
you ask,
rumors for
everybody's got a
everything,
different
so.
idea of what's coming.
A lot of it originates from people that go to the park, whether that be for fun or whatever. So that's pretty much where it comes from. There's not evidence that can be shared for any projects, of course, that aren't revealed yet. So you just got to speculate, really. Congrats on 3K. Thank you. Let's see. Six Flags had a bad earnings call. It was guessed that after the year membership, they would cancel everyone. Most people that go to the park are members. What do you think will happen now? We kind of just spewed that out. So
Yep.
There's
I
that.
mentioned that.
Announcement video for Six Flags? No.
I don't think so.
I don't see that happening.
Not looking
I
likely.
think the age of those are done, unfortunately. That died with Jim Reed Anderson.
Yeah.
At least the big, like, all the park announcement videos.
Yeah, that was good.
All right,
Yeah,
next
those
up.
were so
Since
much
members
fun.
are stable income from Six Flags, will they risk canceling everyone and ruining a stable income source? Well, now they have their annual passes, which are the same price as when they first released them. So I really have to make an updated pass video because they change it so many freaking times. But these are now monthly installments, as far as I know. So, like, if I go to the Six Flags website right now, just to make sure I'm not spewing out wrong information, I'm pretty sure they are all monthly paid things, or you can buy them outright. Yes, annual pass. It's a 12-month pass. It's literally a membership. Just you're getting charged more, but you can do either full, pay it full or pay it monthly. So again, just like the membership's just more expensive. So I don't know why
thought
they
that's
had
what
to
they're
make,
trying to move away from, which is why when I saw the option to pay monthly, I was kind of confused.
it's very odd, very very odd. Colin, I have a question. What will happen to Six Flags? That's a good question. That's the
We
question.
kind of
everyone's
answered
wondering.
that, and
I mean, we can speculate, but that's it, really. Let's see. Six Flags has undersold itself for too long. Prices needed to increase, but this plan may be too aggressive. It will be interesting how long the board and stockholders will support the current results. Yeah, and something Salim actually mentioned during the call I thought was a very interesting point, and it is true. He mentioned the pass price, I think in 1994 for Great Adventure. I want to say it was like $75. And then he brought up that, so many years later, I guess in 2019 maybe, the pass price was the exact same. And with how inflation has gone over these years, it definitely should have been higher. But to go from, keeping it flatline to all of a sudden jumping up doesn't work.
And on that point, there's also the possibility, too, that maybe they were overcharging for a pass in 1994.
That's
but
true.
There's so many variables to that. But generally, when that was mentioned in the call, I kind of nodded my head and agreed. Yeah, the price should have been proportionate to what was available at the park. But think back in 1994, you had more shows in the park. I don't really know what the food offerings were like. But at the very least, there was a lot more than just roller coasters and rides. There was also that entertainment factor that, aside from Summer Vibes this year, was kind of missing for the last couple of years.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
sorry, go ahead.
I specifically remember the Six Flags Worlds of Adventure season pass when I was 16 or 17, so like 1999, 2000ish was $50 even. So I remember that was technically the biggest park in the world at the time. So just to keep that in mind, 6 years after that.
Right.
The food, actually, I can really remember was similar to like the lower tier food that we have now. They always had chicken tenders and burgers from the 80s and the 90s. I remember that very well. And salads and French fries, of course, and pizza. So I know that was there. So, it's the basic theme park food.
Yo, Tom, what you drinking?
I am drinking some Electric Blue Gatorade, and I am utilizing the handy-dandy Six Flags Summer Vibes Festival Pilsner glass. It's very cool. You could only get it if you bought, what was that one candy soda thing with the rock candy in it?
Punch, whatever.
Yes.
Summer Punch. I forget what it was called.
You could get this by getting either that or pretty much any alcohol beverage that was at the park. I love its cool cup, and it's a fun vessel to drink Gatorade through, because that's what this is.
That's pretty cool, Tom. You showed your articulate side. Very nice.
Articulate.
Yes.
Very nice.
All right. Going to my home park, Six Flags Great Adventure, going on King Ka, Jersey Devil, Nitro, and El Toro. Four best rides there. Have fun.
Yep. Those are the best ones there.
Going to a Six Flags event for Ace event, Coaster-thon.
Ooh.
I'm guessing Lone Star Coaster-thon at one of the Texas parks. That's kind of what that sounds like. So have fun. Probably over Texas, if I had to guess. Going to Cedar Point in September. Enjoy. Great Adventure, new for 2024. Its anniversary, a brand new flat ride. I think they're either going to get a coaster or they're going to get nothing. That's my opinion.
Wow.
It looks more and more like that.
Yeah. I don't see anything for Great Adventure 50th anniversary. Well, I guess that's one way to look at it. It's a little bleak, but
the cynic in me wants to agree and say, yeah, with all like the turmoil and shakeup at the corporate level, I think it would be the most. I've been watching a lot of Seinfeld, and so I think like in terms of that, like that would be something that would happen. But I don't want to believe it. But I wouldn't be shocked if that's the way it went down.
Yeah.
Unfortunate.
Let's see.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
We talked about that. We got to talk about that. A lot of repeat stuff. Here we go. The new CEO had great plans, however, the execution failed. If Salim gets replaced, his replacement will undo all that he did and return to the budget park model. Yeah. Kind of seems like
early.
Yeah.
Many situations when one leader makes a lot of changes, the person who comes right after undoes it all, and you just get right back in that cycle. So
that's why Spanos is so great.
What was that?
That's why Spanos is so great, because he wasn't like trying to make these big changes, but he was trying to like make the company a little bit better.
I think it's too early to call it a failure.
I wouldn't say it's a failure yet.
There's still so much time and there's so much variables. We didn't see the changes that happened to the chain in the last year as they happened, and no one could have really predicted it anyway. So I think to call it a failure at this point is kind of it's a little bit rushed. It's a little too early to say, but I definitely think there could be some better things going on to change the trajectory of the parks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, next up. Six Flags should sell some parks so they have the capital to invest into new rides and improvements. Well, that's pretty much pulling a CGA. We were talking to a few people. Basically, selling California's Great America on the part of Cedar Fair has really helped them, like big time. They've alleviated all of their debt, And now they have all kinds of capital in addition to all those rides that are at CGA right now that are very easy to relocate. So they have so much to do. It is unfortunate that a park has to get slaughtered for that, but where it's bound to happen eventually, I think it's better that we see their rides go to different parks as opposed to the park just crumbling and falling to pieces and pretty much just getting stomped on. So if anything, I'd say better now than, 10 years from now where it's going to be even worse.
Even though they added a new ride like yesterday.
Yes, even though they're adding a new ride.
This is better than hard stop closing the park and letting the rides deteriorate without giving them a second life, which it sounds like is the plan for a lot of these. So
there's talk about oh, maybe they'll buy it back. I don't know if that's going to happen, but
I don't think so.
After a conversation I had, let's just put it this way, that's not going to happen. CGA is definitely sold.
It's 500+ million. It's done. The land is too valuable to go back to. They're not going to sell that back. No way.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's done. That's a done deal.
Yeah.
All right, next up. Colin, Los Angeles is hosting the 2028 Olympics. Will Magic Mountain do something related to this?
Yeah, I think they'll tie something
why
in.
not.
I don't know if it'll be a big ride
well.
or something, but I think they would definitely do stuff to tie it in to try to bring people in while they're in town, especially.
Oh,
This would be a
absolutely.
good festival opportunity.
Yeah.
Oh, I bet they do a day where they host some of the athletes and everything. I bet they really tie into it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they might as well. Be a smart thing to do.
Get on TV for free. Come on.
Yeah, that's I was just there exactly 1 week ago. That's a super park, especially with Wonder Woman. Wow, what a great park. 20 coasters.
Pass options / choices are overwhelming. Keep it simple. One park pass, gold, and all the parks, platinum. Well, Cedar Fair had that down pretty good until they decided to introduce this prestige crap, whatever that is.
Oh, the thing is so
It's kind of interesting.
What is that?
It's basically the platinum pass. It's the
Cedar
platinum
Point.
pass with like preferred parking and one like free fast lane every
What?
time. That's it.
And how much
The
more?
perks are for like $160 more a year.
Are you
Isn't
kidding
like
me?
something like VIP tour?
No, it's
Most
ridiculous.
Most of the parking lots in Cedar Fair parks are pretty much, it's like, for example, King's Dominion and Carowinds, right? If you come there early, you're going to be right in front where Fury's at or where Dominate's at, right? You see how it is. It's like, it's a waste of money. It's a waste of money.
I'll stick with my platinum pass.
I'll stick with my platinum too.
Yep.
I'll stick with it. I'm good. It's a waste.
All right, next up. Oh, yeah, this is what he said. I think the 2024 project was in the works since late 2020. I would have to agree with you.
Oh, that's a good thing for us then.
Well, that park too was one of the few that had a CEO for quite a long time as well. Like that didn't get shuffled out after a few years or leave after a few years. So
you mean a park
John
president?
has only been there since around 2018
yeah,
well,
no, that's what I'm saying. 4 or 5 years versus like some of these other guys barely have. I mean, Jeff's an exception, but like a lot of those guys are only in a couple of years at the most.
Oh, yeah, John's been there for years.
True.
Okay.
I think, but next up, dining plan getting canceled was a good move. Well, now he's bringing it back, but it's going to be way more expensive. So on one hand, I say yes, because it was very unprofitable for the company. But on the other hand, it's like, wow, all this I've done for all these years now is just going to poof. Whenever they
We
said
did a video like that, Colin, where you compared my metrics on the dining plan, and I agree. For that reason, it was a money pit. They were losing money hand over foot, whatever the expression is. And a revamped dining plan is what was discussed in the investors call. I don't know how you revamp that. I don't know what direction they're going to take it in, because according to the call, it's technology that's limiting the dining plan, and we don't know how much is lost to food waste, which I don't think is the biggest issue on that. But in some form, the dining plan will be back, and I'm really interested to see what it'll look like.
And something I need to mention, because it made me laugh out loud when I heard it on the call. Salim mentioned that dining pass users will go to the park, have a hot dog, take a bite, throw it out. Go get a burger, take a bite, throw it out. Which is, it couldn't be further from the truth. You cannot do that with the dining plan.
If you do, you're just wasting the dining plan. At that point, you're
We'll literally
throwing away
sit
your
down
own
for
money.
probably like a solid 30 minutes, and we figure out what ride we're going to go to next while we're eating.
Listen, I know people this year, last year, since they had the dining plan, the inception of 2014, 2015, actually 2013, that literally go to the park. They live within a stone's throw away, 10 to 15 minutes away, and they go every single day. And you know exactly what I'm alluding to in California. And they will go there every single day, and this is how they've lost a lot of money. And I can totally understand for the business part of it, to stop people from doing that, you know. But yeah, they lost a lot of money based on people that do that, go there every day just to eat. Not everybody does it.
Yeah, definitely. Hashtag Phil4CEO. Wouldn't be bad.
He's got some good ideas.
He does. I think maybe he should start out as park president and then work his way up.
Climb that corporate ladder.
He ain't
Yes.
answering to anybody. Let's be real. He's got to be all the way at the top.
Oh, yeah, that's true. All right, next up, a lot of stuff about Giga. I had never heard any of that, so we're just going to skip over that. If anyone went to Energylandia, they have double-sided lockers so you can carry your stuff until 5 minutes before you get in the ride. Six Flags would pioneer this stuff and make customers happy. Well, Dr. Diabolical has that. Velocicoaster also has that. And so does Steel Vengeance and Twisted Timbers, even though Steel Vengeance's queue setup is really bad. Twisted Timbers works a lot better, but Steel Vengeance is kind of a disaster. But yes, and Scott added on, said Energylandia has incredible operations overall. Park should take note. The only odd thing about Energylandia that I see in all the videos is that the way they have the station set up, where it's not per row, it's per section of the station, and it's kind of just a free-for-all when you get in there. I always thought that was kind of weird.
Is that similar to the Dragon Coaster that we went to on July 30th in Viplay Land?
About it.
Similar to you just go right on once you get to the station?
It's like that, but separated into a couple sections.
Oh, wow.
And then there's like a turnstile that lets in so many people, and then it stops.
Oh, never seen that before.
Yeah, it's weird. All right, next up, Busch Gardens over New Jersey. How does that sound? Maybe a different name, but I've said this quite a few times. I think one of the better things that could happen right now is if SeaWorld gets Great Adventure, because they already control animals at all their parks, meaning like animals, and they would really transform that park into just a beautiful, beautiful park.
That's true.
I've been to almost every SeaWorld park at this point, and I haven't disliked any of them. They've all been great.
They should take us, Fiesta Texas, and Discovery Kingdom.
Yes, us and Discovery Kingdom. That's it.
Not Fiesta
that'd
Texas.
be nice.
Well, Fiesta Texas doesn't have animals, so it wouldn't make as much sense.
Yeah, but like that's the most like it kind of look, or like you'll put that into a bush park because it looks like a bush park.
And you also got to remember that SeaWorld San Antonio is right down the road.
Yeah,
that's true. But they could also like double pass it.
They could do a double. Yeah, they could.
They once had Discovery Kingdom, right? SeaWorld had Six Flags Discovery Kingdom. Oh, they never did? It was Marine World before. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
All right, next up. Sometimes you got to tear it all down and start from scratch.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
It's true.
Will Six Flags ever rise to the level of not necessarily Disney or Universal, but its main competitor, Cedar Fair?
Yes, Cedar Fair.
It could. Very easily.
Potential is there.
Yeah.
But
Cedar Fair, definitely.
There's actually a lot of potential.
This sounds mean, but they should not be hitting the mark or aiming for the mark of Disney or Universal. It's a completely different market, and we've been talking about that. And they don't need to try to be Disney or Universal. No. That's why we have Disney or Universal. So I think Six Flags is just such an iconic brand on its own, and I think the further you stray from that, the more people you're going to alienate. And I don't think relying on the few people that stay to spend more money in the park is a sustainable idea.
Yeah, definitely. Disney parks are making more than before the pandemic. Well, that's because they introduced Genie Plus and Lightning Lane.
That's more revenue.
Yeah, no, I'm not even getting started on that one. It's ridiculous.
It is. That is more revenue because prior to 2000, the last time I've been to Disney, 2016, what was the Fast Lane that they gave? It was free. So yeah, you're looking at billions of dollars easily in all their parks around the world as revenue. And it is. Bob is right about that. It is ridiculous. And with the hopper option, 2 p.m. for the Disney Florida and the Disneyland California, 1 p.m. that you can utilize. It's terrible.
Yeah.
Wow. They're basically saying you have to stay there more than one day. I'm done.
Six Flags would definitely get murdered by Disney and Universal if they tried. It's not a market they can be in.
No way.
Wow. That's a very bleak view. I disagree. I strongly disagree. Maybe the company won't exist, but I think their parks will be sold off if that's the route they go down. Magic Mountain does not need a Giga.
That's a
They
good
don't
video
need a
for
Giga.
you.
I think
Colin.
Six Flags is too big to fail, and I think it was on the Thanks for Riding podcast that I heard this point like years ago. And obviously, the park at that point, whenever they made that video, wasn't in the same situation. But like, there will always be interest in Six Flags. I think it's too iconic, and to say that the chain itself will die,
No,
maybe a possibility, but it's a very
No.
very slim possibility.
no, that's not going to happen.
I think before that happened, I think they would sell off all the non-major parks before that. If it came down to that bad, like I think they would keep, because if you think about it, like you're looking at, you have Great Adventure on the East Coast, you have Magic Mountain on the West Coast, you have Great America in the middle of the country, and then down south you have the 2 Texas parks. Everything else to them, you can tell, like, I mean, they don't take care of those other parks very much, at least compared to the big ones. I can see them
was
like
nice.
Georgia.
Yeah,
what
I'm
about
sorry,
Georgia?
I forgot about Georgia. Yeah,
Georgia
as well.
yeah.
But all the other smaller parks, I could see them totally
True.
selling those off to if it came down to it, if they needed it to survive or something. But I don't know. It's definitely going to be interesting to see what they do here.
And what
That's a
about
good
St.
video
Louis?
for you.
What about St. Louis, Bob?
St. Louis is a shit park. Sorry, pardon my
Oh,
language, but like it
That's
has so much potential.
It
And
does.
they don't
St.
do
Louis is
anything
awesome.
with it.
St. Louis was good.
Their collection's crap. Like they
Oh, yeah,
seriously,
yeah.
like they could
They
do
could do
so much
better.
with that park, and
Yeah.
they don't give it anything.
True.
It's ridiculous. Like they could, that
Yeah.
park is in a, like, I don't want to say it's in a great area, but it's in a hub of traffic, at least, where I've been there a couple times, and it's always been moderately busy, never slammed, but decently busy. And
Yeah.
just put some money into that park and give them some stuff, and it could be so much
man.
better than it is. And it drives me crazy that they don't take care of it.
Yeah, you look behind the boss. Look at all that land. Yeah, the potential. I actually spoke to Colin. I spoke to Colin and Phil about that. Yeah, they have a lot of land. They could easily build whatever, hypers and gigas, yeah, whatever they need
Yep.
to build out there. True. I like that park.
I was gonna say though, Colin, that's a great video for you. Like figuring out what parks are gonna get what parks would get sold off.
Wow.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
definitely true.
Man,
It's a good video.
I'd watch that.
Yeah, that's interesting.
All right, let's see. Next up, I can see Dark Knight closing and a bunch of flat rides. If
Wow.
you're talking a Great Adventure, I mean, maybe.
I think, I don't know. Did they
think
want to
those-
go through the hassle of tearing down Dark Knight because you also have to worry about the building?
I think this is going back to the point of what rides would close a Great Adventure, like the other parks, like the areas being closed
Right.
off. I think that's what this is going to.
Let's see next. There we go. Well, Six Flags lacks the capital to invest. They need to take a step back to move 2 steps forward, sell some parks, and invest it into real quality parks. As much as I hate, stuff getting sold off and everything, that may be their best choice right now.
Which park
Yep.
would that be, though, is the question. Like, what is Six Flags CGA?
What
This
is
is
They
Six
don't have,
Flags?
they don't have a one.
They don't
that-
have one.
They don't have one that needs to be sold off.
Right, well,
They have
that's
one
the thing.
that can.
They
be
don't
sold
have
off.
ones that aren't going to bring them in a ton of money though either. Like
No.
selling off, like, well, they don't own Darien Lake or Frontier City, right?
They just
own the
operate
rights
them.
to operate them, right?
Yeah.
So those aren't even them. So I don't know. The problem is you're not going to sell off a park like Luron, which gets a ton of visitors or something like that, and you're not going to sell off like Six Flags Mexico because same reason. You got a huge population down there that comes in all the time. So it's like pick and choose what you want. I think what they would have been smart doing is just do a whole year where they don't invest anything in terms of new rides and things, and just do all infrastructure type stuff and upgrade everything across the board, from not just like making the parks look better, but like technology and everything, and have this plan like that. Then come back the next year and then start like putting new stuff in.
And the 2 original Six Flags parks from 1961 and I believe 1967 over Texas and over Georgia, don't Six Flags partially own it? They have to pay the other, in about 10 years, the other 50% to get the parks, right? To have it completely. You know what I'm
would
talking
know.
about?
John Joseph Gray would know.
I have no idea.
Yeah, because I know
John,
we
if you're still here, we'll wait for your response. Well,
Yeah,
we'll get
they
to
own
it.
a percentage. I know they don't own 100% of over Texas.
Right. No, next question. Who's hyped for Thrill-a-thon? We're all going.
Yeah.
We are going, yeah.
You'll see us all here. All there,
Yeah.
rather. Very,
Oh,
very
yeah.
excited.
My official Thrill-a-thon Hollywood Studios shirt has shipped. I will hopefully have it in time So yeah,
Colin, the one guy in the chat made a good point. He said Six Flags America is their CGA, and that land in that county near DC is super, super valuable. So if they really wanted to sell off land, that would be the one. I mean,
that
that's a
was
really
the
good
park
point.
I was thinking of.
Yeah,
Sure.
that is a very good point.
A lot of
DC,
those rides are
Baltimore.
movable too.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because it's basically a carnival with a couple coasters. So
Yeah,
But why would you give someone Firebird? Like,
I think
Yeah.
a park like, I don't know, who would take Firebird? It'd definitely be a lower tier park, but I think
Great
someone would
Escape.
take it. Like-
St. Louis.
St. Louis could take it.
Great Escape would take it both.
Great Escape would work out really good.
That would be great.
Yeah, Great Escape has the land. Yeah, to do that.
All right, next up. I just hope he doesn't cancel the memberships before he gets kicked out. I think he's going to keep us going just because he knows if he slashes us, they're going to lose so much attendance and so much revenue. It's not even funny.
I
Oh,
wouldn't be at
absolutely.
Hershey all the time.
Because I can count so many people I know that are members that if they lose their memberships, they're done. They're going to Hershey or Dorney or something
Yeah.
else.
Or a
I'll
nearby
definitely go
competitor, like wherever the park is, like I'm sure
Yeah, well,
that sentiment
exactly.
is, chain wide. And
American Dream has season passes now, guys.
Wow.
American Dream.
And you also you got a whole bunch of other parks.
Mm.
Yeah, there's a lot of other parks to go to.
All right, let's see. Next up, reason that I got to say, Olaf, you have a lot of really good contributions to the chat. Thank you for that. The reason that Disney, Universal, and SeaWorld / Busch parks do so well is they have like 6 parks in prime locations.
every
They
Six
close the
Flags
small
park
parks.
is in a friggin' like one of the biggest cities in the country.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
but there's more.
they all are.
Oh,
I guess what he's saying is there's less to deal with in the SeaWorld chain, like just less amount of
Well,
parks. I don't know.
the thing, I mean, to go along with what he is saying though, is all of the like Disney, Universal, SeaWorld, Busch parks, they're all within very short distance of other chains' parks, so you can make a trip out of it. Versus Six Flags in general, their parks aren't all in that same thing. Like St. Louis isn't near anything. I mean, you got to go 4 hours one way, 5 hours the other way to get to a park, and
Right.
stuff like that. So I get it in that regard.
Yeah,
yeah, and the quality of the park too, obviously.
I think the sports complex and the new hotel are probably scared about attention too. Who owns that? Another company. Adventure Crossing is a totally different company.
They're
Yep.
gonna pull a lot of people away from Hurricane Harbor, though.
Or they're going to pull people to Adventure Crossing, and then Great Adventure has to figure out how to get them to come to Great Adventure too.
Wow.
That's the other thing.
Yeah.
Is Six Flags ever going to get up to? No. Nope.
And
Never.
it's
No.
pointless to try.
No.
It is pointless to try.
No. Mm-mm.
Oh, that's a good one. If Six Flags tries to get to that level, they will fail and go bankrupt. Don't go for the moon if you don't have a good rocket.
I mean, they're
Exactly.
failing and going bankrupt without trying to get to that level. So
Yeah.
I'm not
Just
even
like in
sure
the
what they're
last-
trying to get to,
no,
and I
absolutely,
guess
and they shouldn't. They absolutely
Mm.
shouldn't.
Look at what happened
Right.
with the last 2 recessions. Come on now. They're not recession proof like Disney and Universal. That showed it right there.
Yeah.
That's right there.
Agree
They're so
with Ace.
fragile right
Cedar
now.
Fair parks, at least the ones I visited, have been the best value. Nice, clean parks, mostly good. Yeah. Cedar Fair parks are like the most consistent parks you can go
Yes,
to.
right.
they
Across
are.
the board, they're all very consistent.
And they're not shooting for the moon like Disney and Universal. That's the
No,
beautiful
they
thing.
know their place
Nope.
and they stick to it.
Exactly. Perfect spot.
I was just
to
at
be.
Dorney yesterday. Dorney, it doesn't even
Yeah.
have the best coasters.
There's
but
a
for
nice
what
park.
it is, it's amazing.
It is.
Super chat.
It's never.
We got
it's
another
never
super
dirty.
chat down here from Caleb Hayes. Thank you for the super chat. If Six Flags sold all their parks, what do you guys think would happen to Over Georgia?
Mm.
I
would
feel like
hope
that's
that-
the one that Cedar Fair might buy of all of them. Honestly,
I was
Yes.
gonna say Hershend, actually.
Hershend has
Just-
Wild Adventures, though. I could see SeaWorld buying it, though.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
SeaWorld-
just because of location wise, because like I always think about how the location of all these Cedar Fair parks, and they don't have anything like between like Worlds of Fun and whatnots. Like there's nothing that entire way out there. Oh, CGA technically, I guess, like that whole, but all across the plains, all across, Utah, Colorado, Nevada, all that, they don't have anything. Like so,
No, they don't.
it made me think about that. But then I was like looking at map wise about it either though. It's like that is the one that makes the most sense,
Close to Carowinds. So 3 to 4 hours from Carowinds.
right?
4 hours. That's perfect.
Well, and you see how well, Cedar Point and Kings Island play off each other. If you could have 2 more parks that can play off each other, plus, again, I still think that corporate's going to move to Carowinds at some point. I mean,
Definitely.
that would be an easy, like, in my opinion, easy purchase if I was them.
Right. Knott's Berry Farm triumphs over Magic Mountain. They might not have as much coasters, but they definitely give the overall experience of a true theme park.
They have great theming. I have to give
They do.
credit
I mean,
for that.
I'm
Great,
not
I was
even
just
into
there.
like those like themed
Knott's
area
my
type
favorite
things,
park,
but the Ghost Town Alive section is really, really cool.
It is. It's a really nice park. I was just there 9 days ago.
Yeah, I can't speak to either of the parks because I haven't been there, but yeah, I generally side on the parks that can do everything and
Yeah.
they have good roller coasters, but like definitely I think in the long run a more complete experience is what's gonna yield success.
I mean, that said, at CoasterCon, Magic Mountain treated us 10 times better than Knott's did.
Well, that was a one-day event.
I'm not biased. I'm just saying in general
No, it's 5.
that Six Flags
wow.
parks have incredible PR. Incredible PR. All of
Yeah.
them that I've been to, that I've met with the PR people, are great. And a lot of the Cedar Fair parks who've I've had contact with their PR people, like Dorney, Carowinds, all great people as well. So it's very important to get PR right, and a lot of parks do get it right. Some don't, but most do. Cedar Fair can buy Six Flags St. Louis, and I would be fine with it.
Yeah.
But what would they do with it? I mean, they have Worlds of Fun over there, and they don't do much with Worlds of Fun. So
What do you mean? They're getting a coaster, Colin. For the
Only
first
took
time.
13 years.
I know they're getting Zambezi, but still. It's not much. I don't know. I think that'd be interesting. Do you think that the Do you think that the B&M Diver Coaster will dive head first at Great Adventure Fit? All right, I gotta figure out.
He's just asking if they're going to get a dive coaster for the 50th. No, they're not.
No,
no,
definitely not.
Definitely.
I don't know if they'll get anything.
Is there a video or picture of the progress of the Great Adventure 2024 project? Next. The sangria at Busch Gardens is good. I don't see Winefest this year, my wife asked. I don't remember. I don't know if both Busch parks have the same events this year. I forgot to compare them when I was there, but both are open all year round and have different festivals every month. So, all right, next up, sell some parks to Cedar Fair and use that money to improve the rest of the park. Yes, that wouldn't be a bad. I mean, more than just Cedar Fair, but
yeah, I mean, Cedar Fair would have to be interested.
I forget what the
I don't think they are right now. Like,
I forget what the exact language used on the call was, but when asked about what the competitors are doing, Salim said something to the effect of not viewing Cedar Fair and SeaWorld as competitors, but rather I think it was other players in the industry. I don't remember exactly, but I don't know. It's tough because how do you improve something without evaluating the competition? Like, there's no sugarcoating that, and I don't know if they want to help the competition, but we'll see.
Yeah. Oh, another super chat. Scroll down here real quick. Another one from Caleb Hayes. Thank you. Do you guys see any other Six Flags parks closing forever like Astroworld? I think Six Flags America. That's a good question.
I don't know.
I want to say right off the get-go, I hope it doesn't happen to any parks.
If any of them, that would be the one probably.
Prime Land.
There's always been a decent crowd at Six Flags America, and like the handful of times that I've gone, though.
But it's where it is. That's kind of the problem.
The area isn't the best overall area, right?
Well, no, it's so good to the point that like other people want it.
Right.
You're right next to DC.
It's great real estate.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ace, you awake?
No, I'm listening. I'm just amazed on.
He didn't move for like 5 minutes, so I thought he was.
No,
out.
I'm just chillaxing. Let me tell you something. What a piece of land it's at in the suburbs. Yeah, it is between Baltimore and DC. Wow, that is wow to sell that land right there, and it has so much potential in that park. It's a lot of acres.
Cedar Point is the prime example of catering to everyone, not just one demographic. That's why it's the winning formula. I'm gonna have to disagree with you there. They were all about coasters until they decided to not be about coasters at all, even though they've marketed themselves as the coaster capital of the world. So, I don't know. They're kind of in a weird spot right now. They're building a Wild Mouse. I mean, I would have thought that would happen at Cedar Point.
Yeah.
I'm not complaining. It's a new credit, and I love that what they're doing with the boardwalk area, but it's just odd to me.
5-hour lines.
When you think about it, at least you're getting something because they just took out the Wicked Twister. Hey, could have easily just gone with a restaurant and the rest of that, but at least you got, the coaster count. You keep the coaster count up, and then of course what happened with Dragster. So, what better way to soften the blow in the last couple of years? Think about it.
Right.
So at least it softens the blow. Not having
End of the day,
Dragster.
it's all about the value.
2022.
End of the day, okay. End of the day, it's all about the value at the demographics price point, and the two standout winners in my eyes are SeaWorld Entertainment and Cedar Fair. Yep. You're dead right. Dead right. If Six Flags removes Salim, who do you think will be the next CEO?
Oh,
it could be anyone.
Donald Trump.
It could be me.
Who said that?
It could be Ace. Ace Mason for CEO.
I said it. Ace. How about me being the CEO?
We are going to add boomerangs everywhere. They're going to be the biggest boomerangs you've ever seen.
Will they be called Batman the Ride, though?
Hey, someone said go for CEO. Maybe he could be CEO.
They're actually going to be all called Bob.
Oh, maybe you could be CEO.
Colin, just apply and say you played a lot of Planet Coaster as your qualification.
Yeah, I can manage parks pretty well.
In all seriousness, though, I think a Jeffrey Siebert type, or if he wasn't retiring, John Winkler would be a great fit at that spot. Yes. But you need someone who's a veteran of the industry and has a really good idea both of what parks need and what their most diehard people want.
I loved Neil Thurman too.
Yeah, he was great.
It should be someone who's coming from like an amusement park like industry or background.
Well, guess
absolutely.
Not someone from Spirit Airlines.
Guess what? I got great news for all of y'all. That would be Tommy, because Tommy used to work at Great Adventure.
I would be CEO as an entry-level job. That's my first ever job. Yeah.
But hey, anything is better than Salim right now. You would be good. Or maybe
I don't know about that. I am horrified at what would happen to Six Flags if I were in charge.
What about you, Bob? Would you take a job like that?
What?
Be the CEO of Six Flags. I'll be the president. I'll be the CEO of Six Flags.
I mean, like, if they offered it to me out of the blue right now, yeah, they can pay me like a couple $100,000.
Oh, I would take it.
I have no idea what I'm doing, but
yeah.
Anybody in that short time, they'd be spending about $500 million on coasters because I knew I was going to get canned in like 3 months anyway, so I might as well put it in the works.
That would be awesome.
Bang, yeah.
That would be sweet.
Yeah,
that'd be great. What about you, Colin? If
I'd take it any day.
You would run that park great because you got brains. You know exactly what to do. What about you, Sammy?
About what? Like,
would you be able to handle it? The CEO job?
Probably not. I could build the coasters though. I'll build Shadow Stalker for every park.
Yeah.
All right, we have a lot of stuff still to go through for the chat, so let's move along now.
Yeah.
A dive coaster over the lake at Great Adventure would be great, but never will happen. No, it will never happen.
It is very difficult to do anything involving the lake.
Yep. Yeah. Especially with the family.
Let's see. Next up, don't forget Cedar Fair has a war chest of cash from that property sale and all the rides that could be real. Yeah, Cedar Fair is going to go crazy this decade. I think this will be the decade of Cedar Fair in terms of new rides. Lots of capital coming in. Lots.
Yep.
SeaWorld by Great Adventure. I would not disagree. I would love to see that.
I wouldn't be mad.
And this is very true. My beef with SeaWorld Entertainment is operation is very inconsistent. So when we were at the spring conference in May, the ACE event, both Busch Gardens and SeaWorld had their operations on point. They were quick, constantly dispatching, and I think they did that because we were there. Because I've heard that Iron Gwazi's operations usually are.
Oh, they were atrocious when we were there in June. They were so bad.
Busch Gardens Williamsburg's operations were very slow.
Like 4, I think.
Oh, at least you got on it. That's wow.
Also, very unrelated to everything, but Game of Thrones, the prequel or whatever it is starting now. So if you guys have to go. I know Game of Thrones is very big. That's why my dad's gone.
Yeah. You like Gwazi more than Steel Vengeance, real quick? Bob?
No.
Okay. So equal?
Right behind it.
Oh, okay. I respect that. There's few people like Vengeance more.
All right, next up. Prediction. Cedar Fair buys Great Adventure and Great America.
No.
I don't think so.
No.
Will there be a major new coaster in 2024 for Great Adventure's 50th anniversary? Well, Six Flags Fun, since you predicted the last coaster, I would hope that you have your predictions set all put together. So, if anything, I'm going to wait till I hear it from you because you got Jersey Devil right on point on the not connoisseurs. Great
Adventure History Forums, yes.
Let's see. Next up. Well, Warner Brothers Discovery buys Six Flags from bankruptcy soon.
That's a John question.
That's a John. John Joseph Gray. If you're still in the chat, here's a question for you. I don't know if you responded to the last one. I didn't see anything pop up. All right, next up. I honestly think they will cancel memberships by the end of the year, try to make people lean towards the new annual passes that's more expensive.
I agree.
I think it's going to happen, and I'm not happy about it, but oh well.
I got to think about what I'll get if
I know.
my Diamond Elite membership goes away. I haven't even thought about it. I don't want to.
No.
I'm already getting a Hershey Pass for next year, so like I literally don't know what I get.
Hershey Pass was expensive. But I got the king
It's
side.
gonna be worth it.
Sheesh.
Oh yeah, when
go,
Twisted Twizzlers gets built, yeah,
Dude, I swear to God, if they call it that.
I was gonna
that's
say
gonna be the name.
It's inevitable.
It's
Bob,
gonna
you
be
like the
Twisted
name?
Twizzler.
Twisted Twizzler?
If they're gonna do that, I just see the track being like multiple colors, like changing like the whole way along.
What are they gonna? What else would they call it? Iron Kit Kat?
I'd rather
Kit Kat.
Cat.
What would you think? Bob,
Kit
go
Kat
out on Iron
Express.
Twizzlers.
Don't give them any ideas.
All right, I'll keep my mouth shut.
What you think, Bob? The
Uh-oh.
toy Twizzlers and Kit Kat? You, Sammy?
I have no idea.
What?
All right, we got to move on, Ace. The concern moving forward is parks like Six Flags America, Darien Lake, and Frontier City, who would be leading candidates for a possible sale. In Six Flags America's case, it could be to
Well,
a
they can't
real
sell
estate
two
company.
parks they don't own.
Yes,
Right.
so it would be America, and I agree. America could get sold to a real estate company. All right, next up. Great Adventure needs some more good concerts in the Northern Star Arena. I don't think that's going to happen.
No matter where it is, they could use more concerts. They could use more shows. They could, on the entertainment front, they could use a whole lot more and more consistently throughout the season too.
Well, it doesn't have to be long. Like Kings Island did their concert series this year, and it was like about 3 weeks worth of concerts, a couple days a week, and it was almost everything was sold out. Like it was, and you like Carowinds hasn't used their amphitheater in like 10 years, and it's gigantic. It's like, well, I don't know why parks don't do this. You would bring Darien Lake's another example, wasted, opportunities.
And it's so interesting to hear about like people I know that have seen acts like Cheap Trick, Beach Boys, Golden Earring, like all these like high profile bands at Great Adventure. I wish I had that kind of opportunity as a music fan myself, and like I think it's almost like a complete waste that they're not doing that. I think you would be able to book some pretty solid concerts for Great Adventure, but it's just fallen by the wayside in the last couple of years.
Yeah. Summer Vibes definitely made the park feel more complete. Yes, it had everything. It had the entertainment. It had new food. It was definitely, with what they were given, they made the best of it, and it was pretty darn good. Wish I got to ride Skull Mountain Remix more than I did, but oh well.
It was pretty solid.
They did a good job of this time around. Which happens first? Magic Mountain gets rid of Goliath, or Bush gets big. I'd say they get rid of Goliath.
Yeah, Magic Mountain for sure.
Yeah.
Because the B&M Hypers are invincible.
Yeah, you're not touching the Apollo Chariot. So you got to go higher.
Such a spot, they'll just retrack it. If anything, you're not going to build. What are you going to build back there?
What would be retract?
Apollo.
Well, they don't need to even do that. It's not.
They
even
don't
rough.
need to do that. It's
Not
only
yet,
21 years. Only about 23 years old. It's still young.
No, I'm saying when the time comes where it may need to be.
It might be the like longest lasting like B&M that's not rough at all.
Yeah, it is smooth. It is smooth. Yeah.
I feel like I'm stealing food when I use the dining plan. It's so cheap for me. Yeah, definitely.
And I think there's some medium ground between what was and what the idea of the dining plan should be. Like, there's a happy medium in there somewhere where the park's not losing money and we don't feel like we're getting ripped off. But right now, with the last dining plan, it was definitely not a good investment for the park.
Definitely.
I still loved it.
If things change soon, I bet Winkler and the others will be back. Fingers crossed.
We can only hope.
I hope. Oh, another super chat from John Joseph Gray. He's made his return. All right, John. It's hard to say. Discovery, Warner Brothers would buy Six Flags right now. 2 reasons. 1, entertainment-wise, needs to be stabilized. And 2, they're making a lot in the licensing. That's true.
Real fast. Adam Lucas in the chat. I said you said Six Flags owns Frontier City. They do not. EPR Properties owns Frontier City. Six Flags just owns the lease to operate it.
Mm-hmm. All right, now I got to figure out where I was. Let's see. There we go. They can't fully go back to what it used to be. I agree. Six Flags will never go back to what they used to be. It's just not possible at this point.
Yeah.
But like the dining plan, like I said with that, there's a middle ground somewhere between what was and what is.
Right. And on a change of pace, Mark said, Ravine Flyer 2 at Waldmere was on drugs this weekend. LOL. Felt like Voyage. It was
so
awesome.
good.
It was legit hauling this week.
The night rides on the thing are incredible.
It looks pretty darn good.
You know what? That did kind of feel like mini Voyage.
It's like mini Voyage. It really is. Yeah, it's like mini Voyage. And we got to ride it.
Oh man,
RER Keanu was after dark with like an Asian Lantern Festival going on the beach right behind it, which was really cool. Yeah,
that's pretty
really cool.
I love that coaster. Waldemere is definitely a park y'all all have to go to. Sammy,
really
Tom, and Colin. It's really nice.
I was supposed to go there a couple
back
years
in
ago.
May.
Didn't happen.
Huh?
I was supposed to go there in like 2020, but
yeah, I when I got on the first time, I was like, wow, this reminds me of Voyage. And I know you know a lot about Voyage, Bob, because you're not too far from it. Holiday World. And like, wow.
I'm closer to you than I am to Holiday World.
How far are you away from Holiday World?
About 7.5 hours.
Oh, okay. Okay, but it's a good part. But that Ravine Flyer, it's pretty cool.
I mean, with the new CEO, they could use a low to the ground new gen Vekoma coaster and make it a family thrill, theme it to like a mid-eastern, and it would be like 20 million.
I'm just surprised that like nobody's bringing these Vekomas over here. Like I know Dollywood's bringing their tiny.
those aren't
thing,
Vekomas yet. Those are like,
you know what I mean? Though, like nobody's bringing those like launched Vekomas or those new model ones over yet, and that surprises me.
that's like taking the kids' meal over like
Right.
actual Happy Meal. Like that's not.
All right, next up, let's see. I'd rather see parks get sold. Palace and Hershen still seem to be looking to acquire for whatever it's worth. Yeah.
We're going to go into how Palace's operations are.
I work a great adventure. The arena is already done, and there's a plan in the works for something big happening for the 50th anniversary in 2024.
Well, there was. We'll see.
There definitely was. Colin buy Six Flags. If I could, maybe I would. I don't know. That'd be interesting.
Colin first.
I heard that Cedar Fair would want the Texas parks in the future. They don't have anything down there, so it makes sense.
I'd like to see them build one in Houston, but they're not going to build anything from the ground up. They're only going to acquire.
Right. I don't think the changes to the chain will affect the two flagships as much as the mid-tier down. Six Flags Magic Mountain and Great Adventure will continue to get heavy investment. Now, I'd say I agree, but I wouldn't even say Great Adventure necessarily gets heavy investment. I think there's other parks in the chain that get heavier investment than Great Adventure, like Great America, Fiesta Texas. Great Adventure.
I think they're going to slow down with Magic Mountain a little bit, actually, because they don't have that much land to work with anymore either. There, so
yeah,
that's the thing there. Plus, I think I could see them like really slowing down for a bit and then blowing it out of the water when the Olympics are there, like we were talking about earlier.
Right.
Well, actually, when you, I don't know if you know, I just got on Wonder Woman, and they still got land on the side of that. But yeah, you're right. Those coasters top.
I saw in a few pictures. I saw that.
Yeah,
it's not a lot though. I mean,
yeah, they could put a flat ride there. They can still put a flat ride there, you know. But coaster wise, they have to pop. Would you agree, Bob, that they have to take out a coaster to add another one?
Yeah, I mean, the problem is the coasters that you would take out there are Goliath, which is in the middle of the park. Like
no, not Goliath. The Viper.
Oh yeah, I mean that's probably the other one. Although I like Viper, I did not find it rough at all. But
Mountain,
and I love X2. I don't think they're going to take that out.
Yeah, no, X2 is definitely a gold standard. Maybe Viper. Yeah. And real quick, was Hades 360 rough?
Yes, it gave me a.
Okay, I had to ask it because Colin alluded to that.
When I wrote it in 2020, it wasn't that bad, but this time around, it was awful. Plus, Mount Olympus has the worst operations of any park I've ever been.
I don't even think I want to go now. Thanks for telling me. Wow.
All right, next up. Yup, Ace, that's me. LOL. I take my family for food just to eat for free. That's why the dining plan is gone. Pretty much.
Sure.
The Velocicoaster lockers are so awesome. They sure are.
Well, we were there. It was a mess, though, in that room. Like, they did not police it at all. And they sent us to, like, 3 locker bays that were completely sold out, and it just turned into a nightmare.
Yeah.
Oh my God, the locker thing! Don't get me started with that. That thing was just, oh my God, it was horrible.
It worked really good when we were there.
Yeah, it was great.
Well, you said they were good or weren't good?
No, when I was there just in June, it was that one time it was really bad. The rest of the time was fine. When I was there with Colin and Phil and
It wasn't
Chris,
too
it worked
bad, but
really,
yeah.
really good.
I had to go back. I went on it 8 times. I had to go back like back to back. I went on like 4 back-to-back night rides. I'm like, oh my God, got to run this. Jeez, just so much. But hey, that's you can't have flying objects hitting you in the face.
All right, next up. This is alluding back to Energylandia.
Oh,
It's weird. I mean, I could see it working good. It probably moves the line along quick, but I don't know. It's odd to me. I just don't like that I can't pick my specific row.
yeah,
It's kind of just like, whoever gets it, gets it.
yeah.
See, next up. Magic Mountain is just coasters on a parking lot. There isn't really a park. I don't know. From what I've seen, the further you get into the park, it doesn't look.
Yeah,
good.
that's absolutely not true.
That's not true because obviously, Bob, Colossus and the old one and the new one, of course. Well, Twisted Colossus, of course, that's on the parking lot, and Scream. But everything else is pretty much in the park. I don't agree with that.
X2's on the side of that like road, but it's not on the parking lot.
No.
And there's a bunch of. I mean, there's lots of flat rides inside too. Like whatever.
Exactly.
Hey,
It's
so
true.
Yeah, I've been there too.
Oh, excuse me. When was the last time you've been there? When did you go there?
End of 2019.
Oh, great. So you count. So only Colin and Tommy got to get out there. I know you're going to get there. That's the gold park that you haven't gone to. One of the greatest parks ever. Magic Mountain.
Eventually.
Oh, I know. You too, Tommy, right?
Yeah,
You going to get out there?
Yeah, I'm going to get out there.
All right,
That's
next
good.
up. I was at Great America on Wednesday, and I was going to ride Flash. Vertical velocity was down. Is the Flash at Great America always down? I know the one at Discovery Kingdom is.
Yeah, I didn't get the one at Discovery Kingdom because that was completely broken for like the whole summer when I was there. But no, the one at Great America has been open both times I've been there, 3 times I've been there, whatever it was.
When I went out there last year in October, same thing, Bob. They would just have the trains off the track, and I was like, "Are you kidding me?" And I didn't even get to go on it either. They hadn't even converted the chains because they haven't. I think they were trying to paint it to whatever it is now. So yeah, it was down completely.
All right, next up, if I can find my spot, kind of lost track here. There we go. Dr. Diabolical's lockers worked very well when I was there. I mean, they looked like they probably worked just like Velocicoasters. So,
I mean, Fiesta Texas is like the model of efficiency though when it comes to Six Flags parks.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great park. Never had a qualm or problem with the park. It's definitely clean. It's a great park.
Back in the late 90s / early 2000s, Six Flags was better than Cedar Fair. Yeah. Before Cedar Fair went crazy with all the B&Ms and then, all the other stuff they did.
Before Cedar Fair bought Paramount and actually started putting money into their parks, like they weren't doing shit for a while.
Yeah, that's exactly. That put them over the top. The Paramount purchases, absolutely. Yeah, it made the park that much better.
Well, it looks like my camera froze. I'm not sure what happened.
Yeah, you're not moving at all.
I gotta figure out what's up with that.
He's a statue.
I might just be frozen for the rest of the stream. I'm not sure.
Just disconnect and plug it back in.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, unplug it, plug it back in.
All right. Well, let me move on to the next question. Let's see here. Magic Mountain will be the last park to go if they die.
Yeah. That's their moneymaker. 365, 366 days a year. That park always stays open.
Not yet.
Nope.
No, I don't intend to. No, thank you. Because they like repeated, like Bob, they pretty much have repeaters. Morgan's, the RMC, the Boomerang, stuff that we pretty much have in the country.
I'll get there eventually, but I'll get there on a trip to Mexico for something else.
Yeah.
I won't go down there just to go there.
But would you agree that we have those coasters pretty much? Those are clones, everything that's
a
in
lot of them. I mean, I really want to ride Medusa, but like other than that,
Medusa looks good. That looks like the best one. What do you think about Superman Ultimo? Do you think that looks like it's good too?
No, it was all right. I will see. I mean, people that have gone there really liked it, so.
Yeah, I'm not a big Morgan guy. You got to get in the back row of it with the Steel Force or the Wild thing or whatever, how close are you to your quest? We're going to be both at 500 soon. I'm at 490.
There we go.
Yeah, you're good. I got to get out to, like I said, Denver and Lagoon and Silverwood still.
Yeah, you got to get to Denver before they close. English Gardens may close this year.
Hopefully next summer.
Yeah, hopefully they don't close this year and relocate.
All right, next up.
Oh, you're back.
In relation to Six Flags Mexico, stunning park, easily one of the best in the chain, best operations I've ever seen at a Six Flags park in a while. That's good to know.
Good.
All right, let's see. Great Adventure would have so many people if they regularly added new rides, actual rides, not like Cyborg, but Jersey Devil and Little Devil. Yeah,
those cost money though.
We still have Barnstormer to look forward to though.
Whenever
you guys all forgot about that one.
I did, truly. It'll open eventually. It's probably going to be like with Little Devil and have it open around Fright Fest.
And I have a strong theory that Marvin the Martian is coming back for all of those of you who remember Looney Tunes Land or Bugs Bunny Land rather.
Yeah, I remember
Bugs Bunny Land. I find it funny that like they still use Looney Tunes and Cedar Fair still uses like Peanuts, and like kids today don't watch Looney Tunes or like do much with Peanuts.
I know
at
when
all.
I was a kid though, I started watching like Looney Tunes because I saw it in Great Adventure, and
Wow.
I guess that is the point. But I don't know. But going back to the Marvin the Martian thing, riding Nitro, you could see some of the carts from that old Ferris wheel. It was a Ferris wheel for those who don't know, and it's all in those backstage areas. So it might come back, and it might go in. I almost said Safari Kids, whatever. I already forget what they call it now. Junior Thrill Seekers, right? Yeah, I think that'll be coming back. So we'll see. But for now, just speculation. But that is probably going to be the extent of our new additions.
Ace, you good?
I'm good.
Oh, you look like you zoned out for a second.
No, I'm there. I'm just listening to the story about what's right on
Who
top.
remembers when Great Adventure opened like 30 new rides or something insane back in the early 2000s?
Oh, 1999.
This is a
I don't because that was half a year before I was born.
This is Bob and Ace your old question. Thanks, Scott.
Hey, I was there, kind of.
I remember that vividly. That was with Medusa, the original Medusa, not the rethemed Medusa. And we ended up having a lot of rides near the Buccaneer. The problem with that, 25 new rides, by the way, that's what it was with Medusa. The problem with that, we didn't have enough staffing. And then a lot of times the rides were closed. And that also included Twister, which is right before you get to King of Cars, Golden Kingdom. So you didn't have enough staff to operate those rides. And slowly but slowly, they took those rides away. And they even had a ride that's currently where Cyborg is at. It's like, I call it the inverted Wonder Woman. You know the Wonder Woman at Great Adventure? It's like the seats are inside. They gave that ultimately to Six Flags St. Louis. So yeah, we had a lot of flat rides. Yeah, we had a lot of flat rides. It's true.
Right, next up. Hey, Sammy. How's the new bag? That caught your attention.
I was looking at something on my phone. I'm like, hey, what? Hey, Sammy, what?
Rare Sammy question.
Hey, Sammy, how is the new back coaster coming? Well, I posted an update 2 hours ago now, so you can see most recent stuff. And yeah, I got a lot of work done today.
Well, You said you added a new element, right?
Yeah.
Well, tell them about it.
Okay, so now it's in the new little like nighttime animation I threw out there yesterday. There's a little bunny hop before the turn now, and I just built it. What are you doing, Colin?
I'm showing the ride. You drop.
Oh, okay.
Drop, little off axis, the bunny hill, the turn, the bunny hill, and the spike.
Yeah. But yeah, there's a new little element there, and it's gonna be fun.
Six Flags America is their CGA that land in PG County near DC is very, very valuable. Lots of possible investors in the DMV region who would buy that land in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We said that earlier.
I think if Six Flags sold all their parks, I think Six Flags over Georgia would get scrapped. And my reasoning is that Cedar Fair not that far south.
That
park right by Atlanta, historic, and with pretty darn good rides now.
No.
And they'll have control over almost the entire East Coast if they got over Georgia. They'd have Dorney up there, King's Dominion, Carowinds, and then over Georgia.
But I think over Georgia has too much historical value to the chain for them to part with it, unless the offer is too ridiculous to pass up.
Yeah, that's not happening.
but I don't even know if it would
Over
have
One of
Georgia.
their big parks. It's one of their big parks. They're not selling that.
Something that would attract a lot of people to Great Adventure would be a dueling coaster, but not like I assume you mean
West Coast
West
Racers.
Coast Racers.
but something like dueling dragons.
Dueling
or close
Dragons.
encounters. That'd be cool.
Hmm. Yeah. You been on Dueling Dragons, Bob?
Yep, it was awesome.
I did too. It was awesome credit.
Yep.
Awesome credits. Too bad it's not there anymore.
I believe the first parks to get sold would be the non-Six Flags name parks such as Loran, Great Escape, and Frontier
Can't
City.
sell Frontier City when you don't own it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, those
Loran,
parks.
I don't see. It gets a lot of attendance. Great Escape is
Great Escape, yes.
I don't know. Great Escape's like a whole different market compared to all the other Six Flags parks. It's more like a family destination, which is what
Yeah.
someone wants.
Great.
So. All right, let's see. Tom, did you get a haircut from Brian Gray?
Yes, I did. I got a haircut. I think they messed up my notes with a different Tom because I don't normally get my hair this short, but it's fine and it'll grow back in 2 weeks anyway, so it's whatever. We're just rocking it for now.
Well, at least you're ready for Thriller-thon. So
Yes, I am.
When's the best day of Great Adventures season to ride El Toro? Well, that's specific.
summertime.
Anytime in the summer.
Cool.
I would say August 19th when the sun is at about an 85-degree angle. No, just later in the day. Just ride it later in the day once it's had a chance to warm up. That's for the best day.
Oh wow.
You want to wait until as late as you possibly can on a nice hot day. That's
can warm
how
up.
That's
it's
generally the best time.
So
Yes.
they give it time to warm up.
Yep. Will Cedar Fair buy the whole Six Flags chain?
No.
Absolutely not.
There's
No.
too much. There's too much that they don't want in there.
Yeah.
It's like buying a package of like one of those loot crates, like a.
On
mystery
top of that,
package.
it would be almost the situation where Six Flags bought 1 million parks in the 90s and then didn't have the infrastructure to run them or the money to run them. Like they wouldn't
Yeah, right.
spread themselves that thin that fast.
That's not good. That's what happened with the bankruptcy. That was the problem. Yeah, with all these parks. You know. It's like
Colin, would you consider canceling your season passes to Great Adventure if the prices get too high and switch to Dorney? No, because Dorney and Great Adventure are two very different parks, and
No.
Hershey's too far for me to make that like my main home park.
No.
So I'll always go to Great Adventure, one way or
Sure.
another.
It's
Like,
just
45
money
minutes
anyway,
away.
right?
And either
Yeah.
way, by the time that happens, I may be away in college somewhere. I don't know. No
You gotta
telling what
get
the
in
future
first.
holds.
be away from college. Wow. Colin at a Great Adventure when he's in college. Wow.
I know. YouTube
That's
channel will
crazy.
die after
I
that.
can't fathom that. It's unfathomable.
They're gonna move Iron
Wow.
Gwazi to Great Adventure when Colin goes to college, and then when he comes back, they're gonna move it back.
I can barely
Yeah.
hear you. Hold on.
You go to
Oh.
you be in Florida, you can go to Iron Gwazi while you're in college all the time.
No, they're gonna move Iron Gwazi to Great Adventure while you're in college, and then move it back when you come back.
Ah, and then move it back.
Yeah.
Say, oh crap! I can imagine that. The
Who's
greatest
the best
coaster.
B&M coaster in a Cedar Fair park. All right, no one say anything. On a count of three, and Sammy, you can't talk. 3,
Oh.
2, 1.
Fury.
Diamondback? Oh,
Fury
wait.
sucks.
Duh, Fury.
Did you just say Diamondback?
Look, I was
Who said
pressured.
Actually, I agree with that. Diamondback is the best.
Diamondback's amazing, but
I
Fury's
forgot I
Fury.
wrote. Look, I forgot I wrote Fury 2 weeks ago. I mean, that's not because of the ride being back. So much has
sucks.
happened for
Thank
me
you.
in 2
Thank you,
weeks.
Tom.
I
Oh my
kinda
God.
forgot,
That's a
but I
lot of
will-
time to consume alcohol, Tom. That's why.
It's not even the
Alcohol.
alcohol consumption. It's a very long story that
Oh,
would make for a very
man.
fun movie. But no, I will
Oh.
rescind my previous answer and come back with Fury.
Jeez.
And Sammy's going to say Orion. I don't even
No,
want to hear it.
Diamondback.
Oh, Diamondback now. You've changed.
And yours,
Yeah.
Bob?
Copycat.
Fury by
What's yours,
far.
Bob? Of course, Fury. My 1A to Iron Gwazi and Vengeance. No doubt about it.
1A?
Yeah, those are my 3 favorites. Those are the 3 best coasters. Those 3 are the best.
1A, B, C, D, E, F,
No.
G?
1, and then the 1A to Gwazi. So it'll be 1A. It's my second and third favorite. It's like Velocicoaster and Vengeance.
So that'd be 2 and 3.
Listen, there's all of them. Listen, there's oh my God. There's Iron Gwazi, and then after that is the 1As. All 3 of them are 1A to me. Fury, Vengeance, and
You
Velocicoaster.
can't have
That's
them
how
all be
great
the
they
same.
all are.
It'd be 1A, B, C.
I'll just say 1A, 1A, 1A. I don't care.
Why
They-
don't you
they're
rank
just all-
them like with like?
Ace, we gotta get a
tier?
If I
top 20
4, I can
coasters
say
from you.
top 4. Okay, top 4 definitely. It's just so many
I just
interchanges.
need
It's
people
hard-
to understand that I do not think Diamondback is the best B&M. And
Diamondback?
It's Fury. I
Diamond,
just want to make that clear.
Diamondback is the second best of its kind in the 3-seater fair parks, alongside Intimidator and Behemoth. It's in
The
between.
Diamondback has the splashdown, and Colin knows if you sit in the
Oh, I
back.
love the splashdown.
That was
I like
fun.
Behemoth.
That was fun.
Behemoth is my favorite in the back. Behemoth at Canada's Wonderland.
All right, next up.
I know.
Cedar
I
Fair,
like
I don't think is interested in acquiring more properties right now, but I guess if an opportunity came up, they could jump on it.
I just think if it was water parks again, because they seem to all of a sudden pick up a bunch of those like Schilderbahn and a bunch of those water parks for
Schilderbahn.
no reason out of nowhere. So I think that would be the next thing they would do more than anything else.
Wait, Ace, can you say Schlitterbahn?
Slitterbarn.
I thought you said something else.
No, I didn't say that. I didn't say Schlitter. I said Slitterbarn.
Schlitterbahn.
Yeah.
Slitter Barn. It's like Pottery Barn.
Any thoughts on Frontier City? And do you think Six Flags has any plans for them on top of that? How do you think Six Flags, can actually improve the parks?
Well, Diamondback at Frontier City is awesome, and the park is very well themed. The rest of the rides, whatever. But I mean, I don't. Again, they're running the park, so I don't know if they have like the desire to put things into the park.
Well, that's my question too. Is it Six Flags that handles addition, or is it like the owners of the park? Like who makes that call?
Well, right. And it's like, okay, if Six Flags puts something in and then decides they don't want to run the park anymore, do they get to take it with them? Like, I'm taking my ball and going home.
Well,
like,
think about it like this: how did Fiesta Texas just get that entire show building for a pre-show with their coaster, and they could barely give us any Jersey Devil theming? Think about it like that.
I don't know. Hershen could get over Georgia and control the Georgia-Tennessee market. That's true. That's true, actually. I didn't think about it like that.
that area is not exactly what Hershen likes to deal with for their demographic, though, either. They're not into like those big urban areas.
They want as much as the rural, just like the Dollywood and the Silver Dollar City. Yeah, they want that. Wild Adventures is a good one too, because that's not like urban.
Right.
Yeah, which is really, really nice. It makes the parks exquisite. That's why they're so beautiful.
Tom, there's another drink for you. Honestly, they should stop trying to get up to the level of Disney and Universal, and
They're
instead,
not.
it's
not going to happen.
They're not trying.
I don't think they
No.
are.
No, they're not trying. If that's their goal, they are not trying hard enough. All right, next. Oh, here's John's response. So there is another way a CEO could be removed, and that is a hostile takeover, which would be shareholders signing off on the offer. Then some board members would have to sign off as well. Interesting.
It could
Wow.
happen.
What Cedar Fair Park is the best for lineup?
I mean,
Definitely not Carowinds.
It's just Cedar Point because every other
Cedar
park
Point.
is like loaded up top, and Cedar Point goes like 7 or 8 deep. That
Kings
but it's
Island is pretty well
it's
rounded.
just because of quantity more than anything else. I mean, like Cedar Point, I don't think they have the best 1-2 punch. I think King's Dominion definitely does, and then
Yeah. But
Probably,
it dips off, and that's the problem.
well, that's it. It's like you look at Carowinds. It's like once you get past Fury, Copperhead, Afterburn, Intimidator, it's like all right, the rest of this is
Top heavy.
yeah. That's what I'm
Now-
saying. All their parks are top heavy except for Cedar Point.
Now, let's say down the line, the Kings Island gets a and their Iron Gwazi Steel Vengeance, or they get their Velocicoaster, then it's going to be pretty much them tied.
Yeah.
Of course, because they're not that close to tying Cedar Point coaster wise. Now, overall, Kings Island is one hell of a park up there with
Yeah,
Magic
I mean,
Mountain being a
yeah.
great park. It's awesome. It's my
Balto
favorite.
Racing, you are absolutely correct. So seeing how in the last earnings, Cedar Fair confirmed that they had paid off 75% of COVID debts, buying a park is probably not on their radar currently, just trying to build up funds for future plans. You're absolutely right. Yeah, they're not. We were just, hypothetically talking about if Six Flags crapped the bed even more and decided they had to sell off stuff, would Cedar Fair pounce on that? And it would just be one of those, if the price is right, which would they do? I don't think they will anyways, but if they did, just looking at which one that would be, and we said over Georgia would be a possibility, and St. Louis might be a possibility.
Personally, going back to what Ace said, I think Kings Island is one RMC away from being better than Cedar Point.
Exactly.
I like Kings Island better than Cedar Point as it is already, anyways. But I think that
Same here.
I think that
Same here.
If they end up putting a coaster in the Vortex plot, if they put something worthwhile, whether it's a ground up RMC, whether it's an extreme spinner,
It's a wrap.
whether it's a Velocicoaster type
wrap.
Intamin, they're probably not going to work with Intamin. A new generation Vekoma, something, whatever they put there, if it blows it out of the water, then their lineup becomes, I mean, not as deep as Cedar Point, but definitely competes with them.
More consistent.
Well,
Well, no, I think if they do an RMC, it'd go behind Banshee in that area.
Oh yeah.
No, I agree with you on that.
Now the RMC, you know what? Before we get to the RMC, I've been saying it just as long as you have saying it, Bob. Even though we probably both sound eccentric to most Cedar Point aficionados, yeah, Kings Island I've always liked more than Cedar Point. You put a coaster there, it's a wrap. On the likes of Iron Gwazi or Velocicoaster, it's a wrap. No chance. Even for Vekoma.
Sammy, I think you're right. If they did build an RMC, it would either be back behind Banshee or it'd be back behind Orion, because that's where the 2 land clearing is. Like, that just is already cleared some. I think if they do anything else, it'll go in the Vortex plot.
Now,
although I could totally see them doing like a new land type thing in the Vortex plot and putting a bunch of flat rides and things in there instead.
That entire Banshee side needs to be redone.
Now let me ask you.
Oh no, yeah, I agree, and I think that if they ever redo the entrance, that's where it will go, is over an action zone, and they'll redo that whole area.
And I think they could do something like what Carowinds is doing right now with Aeronautic Landing.
Yeah, I could see that.
Where's there more land? Behind where Son of a Beast was, which behind Banshee, or where behind Orion? Where's there more land at to build the RMC?
It kind of connects. It's like,
oh wow, really? I didn't know that.
It's like an L shape.
Wow, that's a lot of land to put the RMC.
There's not a ton of land behind Orion, but there is like clearing back there from what was left over from Firehawk and some other extra land they had cleared out already, and then there's some just other land where they store stuff over behind Timberwolf and behind Banshee in that general area too.
Wow, that's a great idea to put you can put the RMC to take all that, like almost a Steel Vengeance, like 5,000 plus feet. You would take all that land, yeah. Might as well.
Kings Island's lineup is not missing much. They don't have an RMC. That's one of the few things they don't have.
That'd be great.
And the mock extreme spinner or mock.
The RMC would be perfect.
Yeah, but see, remember they love that record of wood coasters too, so I could see them throwing a Gravity Group Woody in at some point too, somewhere.
Yeah.
Or what about Velocicoaster?
Or maybe they'll actually build like a real Titan track like GCI that is actually like good.
That would blow through the
inversions.
Yeah.
That has inversions and things, and goes above 30 feet above the ground after the drop.
Well, you build a ground up RMC hybrid, and then it's like, oh well, we have the most wooden structure in the world. You can go with that.
Yeah, the hybrid has wood, so go for it. I would love to see it. That would be so freaking awesome in the back right there, where Son of Beast used to be at, and right where Nighthawk used to be. That'd be awesome.
Well, I mean, that's kind of the dead spot of the park, so
that'd be sweet. I would love to see that.
You have to walk 90. You have to walk 90 miles to get to the platform for the bat. So like, it's like, hey, put something else back there to make me actually like want to walk back there.
No, you put something back there, and then you can kind of make it like a cemetery area, or like
absolutely
like spooky with like Banshee
without minimal effort to theme that to that. I mean, you obviously put a lot of stuff in, but like you already have the theme built in. It's just like putting the work in now.
Yeah, it's basically
look, he decided to come back and join us.
I'm back. Sorry about that. All right, next question. Oops. Oh boy, lost my spot. There we go. Do you think Cedar Point will reopen drags with changes or no changes?
No changes.
New queue. That's it. Like
the ride itself won't change.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think new area, no new changes to the ride.
The reason I don't think there's any ride changes is because they haven't done any work from what we can see on the track or on the mechanisms or anything. Like there's been nothing going on all summer there.
Yeah.
What's the deal with those markings? Is that just for new queue?
Well, the markings like are color coded to plumbing and gas and things like that, but that could just be literally for marking where it is for when they put the queue outside more is what I'm thinking they're going to do.
And what about the what's the deal with the trains being sent to Knott's?
That didn't happen from what I understand. Okay. I heard they got sent to Intamin.
Oh, okay.
And if they were even so, I mean, if they were reconfiguring stuff, they could have sent them to Intamin to have it reconfigured to whatever they're doing. So I mean, who the hell knows? I still think they're going to announce they're keeping it open with changes of just the queue and stuff like that.
Yeah, I found that out
too, though.
I found that out back when I was in Iron Gwazi opening week, because I went there like 5 or 6 days after the open in March, and I spoke to a former Cedar Point worker. He told me they may open it. They definitely open it next year in 23, but they may think about opening it later this year. And I was like, yeah, that makes sense for next year. He told me because he had all the scoop because he worked at Cedar Point.
Did he happen to work in the Dippin' Dots, Stan?
No.
I was thinking that too.
Yeah, so yeah, I figured they was gonna tear that $25 million coaster down. No way. That's iconic. They lit it up, you know.
Well,
they've been lighting it up every day, right?
Taking it out wouldn't open up very much land to do anything anyways. So I
yeah,
mean,
but they lit it up. They've been lighting it up.
Well, that's the thing is that would be a huge like D-bag move if you did that and then you turned around and said, no, we're closing it.
That would be a boss move. That'd be horrible.
You'd have to take out that Iron Dragon and Corkscrew to get anything land-wise. Yeah, no, it just doesn't make sense.
No, they're not. They're. I thank God. Wow, that was this. Wow, I can't even think about the incident. I'm not even talk about that, but yeah, it's good for public relations to bring it back in 23 anyway. What happened in the tragedy happened.
Six Flags. It's time to wake up. Stop being a punching bag for Cedar Fair.
Oh, that's a good one.
Brutal.
Yeah. Wow.
Let's see. What are the odds of Six Flags getting new Vacomas? Well, now nothing.
Nothing right now.
No,
0.
We don't know we get none.
And it will if they do. The first one will go to Fiesta, Texas, because that's their testing ground for everything. It seems like.
Right. Also, I'm going to put this out there now. I'm going to be closing the chat for questions at 9:45. So throw all your last questions in, and we're going to go through the chat until we get to the very end. So you got 5 minutes to throw your remaining questions in, and you'll see the line, so to speak, at that time. So let's continue going on. Let's see. Do you think Mike Spanos will ever come back? No.
Oh, that'd be good. No.
That'd be good, but no.
Yeah, that would be great. I like Mike Spanos. You like Mike Spanos, Bob and Tommy?
Yeah, I can't imagine working for a company that you can't trust to not turn around and kick you out the next day.
What about you, Sam? You liked
I
him?
liked him. I thought he did a good job.
What a loss. He did such a good job.
Yeah. How long do you think Banshee at Kings Island will stay open?
Oh, wow.
I mean, they spent a lot of money on it. It's not going anywhere. It's rough
It's
as
not
hell
going
now,
anywhere.
though.
It's only 8 years old. Come on now. Ain't going
I didn't
nowhere.
think it was that bad.
It's a great coaster.
It's gotten extremely rough.
It
was a bit
Wait,
rough.
which row you think it's rough? Only in the back.
I always ride it back row, and it kills me.
Oh, yeah, the back row will kill you. The front row, I always ride in the front. I love that view.
The front's okay still, but anywhere from like 3 on back has just been brutal.
True. The back is rattled me a little bit. Wow.
All right, next up. The new Vekoma Super Boomerang looks really, really... Yeah, it does look sick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you think Six Flags would benefit from introducing more dark rides in themed areas? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's the way to go, too, if you're trying to cater more toward families.
Yep.
Six Flags are the equivalents of the New Jersey... Oh!
Tom.
Oh, that's bad for Tommy. Look at him.
Well,
Wow.
here, all right. Let me try to spin this. The New Jersey Devils have taken steps to try to not be incompetent, and so far I don't really see much of that out of Six Flags. So at least the Devils are trying to get back out of the basement. They're not this anymore, which is great. But honestly, if we're looking for a comparison to what Six Flags is turning into, this is a pretty good representation. And sports and hockey fans, you know what I'm talking about.
Wow.
That's wild.
He's perfect for that. That's his forte, the hockey. Wow.
Back to Hershey. If it's Twisted Twizzlers, I will leave the hobby.
Wait, Scott has another comment about 5 seconds later, though.
I do love that name, though, secretly. I like it, too. I like it a
it's
lot.
good.
Interesting.
They're leaning more on the candy.
I'd like that more for like a
That's
raptor.
Yeah, I always thought a Twizzler-themed raptor would be cool.
Yeah.
What you think, Bob? Twisted Twizzlers, wow.
I mean, if it is, I'll live with it. There's much more stupid names out there like
It-
Apple Zapple
yeah.
and Valraven. So.
Apple's Apple is stupid.
Apple's so bad it's funny.
And
It's
Gotham
horrible.
City Gauntlet Escape from Arkham Asylum.
Oh my god.
That's
Twist,
a
I
cool
like
name.
Twisted
Not
Twizzlers.
including Joker, sponsored by Friendlies. Yep.
All right, next up. I'm not getting a Six Flags pass next year. Not even necessarily because I'm mad at it. It just costs too much. I mean, if you kept your membership, you'd be fine. But if you didn't keep your membership, I understand.
Knock on wood, they're not getting rid of it.
Yeah, I know.
That'd be great.
Will King Daka's old queue line ever come back? And if they will never come back.
No,
After
that's
Dragster,
what happened in
never.
2005 and Dragster when the cable snapped and 5 for Kai, and of course what happened with the tragedy at Dragster. Hell no, it's not happening.
No.
Mm-mm.
Will Movie
Don't
Town
need
be
to.
transforming into DC Universe next year?
Yeah,
like Great
no,
American did?
eventually.
It was supposed to be transformed to DC Universe, I think,
Probably
in
next year.
2021 or 2020, and that never happened. So I don't
No,
know.
what it would have been this year because it was supposed to be the year. It was supposed to be 2022, so technically it would have been next year because everything
Maybe,
got
I
pushed
don't
back a year.
On a park map one year, it showed the entrance for DC Universe on both sides. I think Six Flags New England took ours, or Magic
Probably.
Mountain, maybe. I don't know. All right, let's see. Even though Great Adventure just received Jersey Devil, I'd like to see them put in an RMC hyper hybrid called Wait,
Kilimanjaro's Rage.
Rage.
no, Kilimanjaro. The way it's spelled, Kilimanjaro's Rage.
Kilimanjaro's Rage.
Doesn't Disney have a ride named
Yeah,
Kilimanjaro?
Kilimanjaro. Yeah, Kilimanjaro. Yeah, and
So it's
Kilimanjaro,
Kilimanjaro,
in
not
Animal Kingdom.
Kilimanjaro, get it right.
Yeah, Kilimanjaro and Animal Kingdom.
All right, questions in the chat are now closing. Whoa.
Do we
All right,
have? I think we have another super chat.
Do we?
No, I think that was from a while ago.
Oh, is that old?
Yeah, that's
Okay,
from a
well
while
then
ago.
I am sorely mistaken.
Future of Drag. However, the chat is not closed to super chats, so you know. Anyways, Future of Dragster would have any effect on Ka. Next coaster for Great Adventure. We're gonna skip those first two. Next coaster for Great Adventure. Well, let's go with what I want the next coaster Great Adventure to be, which would be a multi-launch of some kind. But you guys,
Coaster clone headed over here.
Bob.
I mean, yeah, I would say something Velocicoaster-ish.
Wow,
Ace.
that's hard. Oh, I'd launch Velocicoaster or Giga Velocicoaster or just a Giga.
Okay.
Call it King Daka then. At that point.
At this point, anything would be great because right now it just doesn't look good.
It doesn't. Just with Celine.
Yeah. All right. Next up, I definitely think we're staring down a possible takeover by a major shareholder.
Yeah,
BlackRock.
Yeah.
Bought a massive stake in Six Flags. I know BlackRock isn't really that well known, but they kind of are like the biggest. They own the most assets, period, of any company in the country. They're huge. So
Are they just
Guess
like an
we'll see what
investment
happens.
company?
yes, I think they have 10 trillion in assets.
That's a
I
lot.
think it's more than the U.S. GDP or something. It's ridiculous.
Jeez.
Yeah. So guess we'll
well,
see.
the situation that happened after the investors' call with the stock plummeting the way it did, that something like that was inevitable, and it was a possibility before we knew about BlackRock that I was discussing with my family that, hey, this would be the perfect time for someone to come in and just buy a ton of shares and get majority ownership, majority shares, and it looks like that might happen. So
Yeah. Get rid of Scream or Viper at Magic Mountain are probably the best options.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Scream is actually really good.
I'd
Scream
get
is
rid of
good.
Scream before Viper. Viper's just more historic.
Yeah, it's
Scream is
iconic.
really good.
I already know
Scream-
you ain't
I really liked Viper.
Like I know Scream
Bob, I
is
know
over.
you hate floorless coasters.
I know
Yeah.
Scream is over a parking lot, but I think that makes it like the foundation
Yeah,
a lot more
but I like
solid.
Scream.
Makes it a lot more smoother.
You like Scream, Bob?
It was all right.
Magic Mountain is super hilly, not a parking lot park at all. Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's
agreed.
perfectly stated. Yes, it is. A lot of hills. The most, more than Hershey Park. It's super hills. I'm going to get into Superman and
Hello,
Ninja.
EWR Filmer. Do you think a Zamperla Thunderbolt model could come to Great Adventure? I don't think so.
I would think so.
I could see it going to Cedar Fair Park now that they're apparently kissing Zampero's ass for some reason.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of weird. All right, next up. It would be cool to see a mid-sized vertical drop coaster, but honestly, it is a rough model. Yeah, they're rough.
Yeah.
Very rough. Let's see. What are your thoughts of Six Flags New England? I love Six Flags New England.
That's a
I
great park.
had a really good time. there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They got
When
two
did
great
you-
coasters, and the rest are just okay, but it's a beautiful park. One of the nicest looking Six
Well,
Flags.
and the layout's like great. Like there's
Yeah.
no bullcrap with the layout,
Tiny.
and
Perfect.
operations were great. People were great.
Yeah, Pete Carmichael's good. When was the last time you went, Bob?
2017, I think, 2018, somewhere in that range.
I love the hell out of the park. However, the Superman restraints for the millionth time, they
yeah.
got to freaking go. They destroyed my favorite coaster. It was one of my number ones 10 years ago. They got to go.
It's erroneous.
It's reprehensible what they did to that coaster with those lap bars. That's not good. Thank you. I appreciate the spotlight, Colin.
Very welcome, Ace. There you go.
Oh,
I
man.
know you love
I'm good now. You can put it on everybody else now. I just had to say that. Get that out. Everybody knows about them lap bars.
Do you think Disney will want to? No, they want nothing to do with Six.
No.
Get that out
Hell
of
no.
here.
Yeah, Disney ain't
No.
buying anything.
No.
I don't like looking at that.
Mm-mm.
Remember the Looney Tunes area at Great Adventure that had a big obstacle course where you could shoot? Oh yeah, Bugs Bunny,
they
Bugs Bunny
have
Fun
that.
Factory.
Fun
Yep.
Factory. So I had so many memories in there.
Many a Great Adventure visit had ended prematurely because I decided to like shoot people with like the foam blocks or whatever, and it was like it was fun.
I remember that is the one thing I remember like it was yesterday when I was a little kid going to Great Adventure. I remember
Wow.
the Fun Factory so much.
That was my
Is that
favorite
about the
show.
time you were dancing in that video?
No, a little before the Nitro Dance Party.
Wow. Well, they had some nice stuff. They even have, remember Laser Tag? Remember Laser Tag, Tommy?
everywhere.
No, I
No,
don't
way
remember
back
that.
in 2000, the 2000s.
I was definitely not old enough to do laser tag in the year
Too
2000.
bad you didn't see it, Bob. It was really nice.
Yeah, I didn't
Right
go to
near the
like
big wheel.
2013 or 2014. So
Yeah, that was the big where the big wheel was at. They replaced it with something else, like the Sky Coast, I believe.
All right, next up. Your thoughts on how Six Flags... Okay, well, we did this a lot.
Scroll back
We
to the
already
beginning of
did
the
that.
video.
I have a
We beat
huge
this dead
video
horse
on it
with
right
another
now
dead
on the
horse.
channel that is like a 10,000 views or whatever it's at now. So watch that and watch the start of the stream.
Yeah.
I'm pretty happy for myself because with all the changes, I was able to keep my $15 a month Diamond membership. The last 2 times I went to Great Adventure, didn't wait. Yeah, it's been empty, and as long as you got your membership, you made out like a bandit this year. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, that's
Kinda upset that I didn't buy my season pass last year. Yeah, well, if you're talking membership, yeah.
yeah, not season pass.
It's gonna be tough.
I wonder what loophole you know, because I don't know of a loophole anymore, at least.
No, they closed them.
It sucks that New England has so much potential, but they don't do anything with it.
True.
They can change the atmosphere around it. All they really need is a better coaster collection. That's it.
Yeah.
But I do
Take
think
out-
they should just knock out Flashback while they
Exactly.
after they knock
Yes,
out
There's
oh
the
my
land.
god.
and throw
Yeah,
it
I
in
don't-
an
I-
FMS Airwash.
yeah.
And there's the land right there when you get rid of flashback. Absolutely. That would be great to have a launch. You could probably have like a Max Force easily there. There's a lot of room there. That'd be cool.
Yeah. Here's one for Ace.
Well, I'm actually a WWE connoisseur, so I love The Undertaker. So I appreciate that one. Yeah, I just had to throw that out there. I don't know if y'all like WWE, formerly known as WWF, because it's lost a lot of people. Do y'all like WWE, guys?
No,
Sammy? Tommy?
Good.
No, not really.
My
Oh,
area
you
of
never-
expertise,
Bob?
if I ever got on a game show, is like mid-90s pro wrestling. So yes,
No, you still like it a little bit?
Not as much anymore because it's just stupid.
The
now.
Undertaker retired actually this year, so that
Yeah.
what a tribute to somebody. I love the Undertaker. He's awesome. Wow.
All right, Colin, you gotta get moving here.
Yep.
You got it, Colin.
Make the areas more interesting, like Superman the Rise Plaza, remove flashback and make the area cleaner, then use Goliath and flashback land to add power as coaster, aka dive coaster.
Something like that, yeah. Agreed.
Yes, definitely.
Yep.
That's true.
Possible.
Oh, hey, I know.
With all the problems with Steel Vengeance, potentially.
Wow.
Colin, I know you're not going beyond the line, but that loophole you were looking for from Zachary interviews is to give your card to people at the front of the line. They get 35% off of food. You get points. Do that until you rack up enough for a free meal. That's a lot of effort.
That's a loophole. Yep.
Huh.
Yep. That's somebody using card.
The present and future, their rides are great. Yeah. They just need to work on the reliability a little bit.
Yep.
Enclosed queue line for dragster, probably.
Yep.
Yeah, I thought about that. Could you see that, Bob? Like a cage, similar to the ride at Indiana Beach. Have like
I originally thought they were going to build like walls next to the coaster where it launches and where it comes back down, just to block anything like that from ever happening again. But I still think they're just going to move the queue line.
Oh wow, there's enough room in the midway to do it too. Right between where
Hershey into a destination like Cedar Point, it's not enough to do.
No, but Hershey's awesome though.
Hershey's already a destination.
They're in this step of the they're on like the right path.
Hershey is the best United States independent park, excuse me, North American independent park, because you have to also, if you're talking about the world, in the Jalandia. But it is one of the greatest independent parks. Absolutely, Hershey Park's great. It's awesome.
If you had to scrap a coaster in your top 3, what would it be?
Man.
Like, here's the thing. Like, my top 3 is Velocicoaster, Steel Vengeance, Iron Gwazi, but I'm not getting rid of Iron Gwazi, so it would have to be Steel Vengeance, which pains me to say that, but like, that's so hard.
My top 3 is your reverse. I'd have to go with Steel Vengeance too. I mean,
my top 3 is the same top 3 as you have. I would have to go with Steel Vengeance because I love Iron Gwazi #1 and Fury's #2. Yes, Steel Vengeance, they can get rid of it. So be it.
To my last ranking, my top 3 is Vengeance, Fury, Timbers. And I don't know. Laughing at Ace.
Laughing at him like he's a peasant.
Where what I lack in coasters, I have in life experience, I guess. So it's fine. But I don't know what I'll scrap in there.
Mine is Toro X2 Ghost Rider, and I'd probably scrap X2, even though it's my #2.
All right, next up. What do you think is the next coaster to be removed for Six Flags and Cedar Fair?
Anaconda for Cedar Fair.
Anaconda for Cedar Fair, for sure.
Yeah.
Anaconda, yeah.
Six Flags is tough because like
Ninja maybe at St. Louis?
No.
Mind Eraser.
Oh god, that thing's awful.
Yeah, Mind Eraser at America is a possible.
That's a good
Mind
one.
Eraser at America.
Mind Eraser at America's a good one. Mind Eraser. Yeah, Mind Eraser probably
Get rid of Kong at Discovery Kingdom. That is the worst coaster I've ever been on.
Wow.
Which one is Kong in Discovery Kingdom? I've been on so many coasters. That's the what?
The other SLC.
Oh, okay. Okay.
A new Vekoma tilt coaster would be sweet at Great Adventure. That'd be interesting, but too gimmicky, honestly.
No, and it's not, the capacity is probably not that great on that. Like the park in Catalan is getting.
The only parts that's going to be left, which I believe is his vision, is Great Adventure over Texas, Magic Mountain, Great America. Well, I think Fiesta Texas, and Georgia, and New England could be added into that. Everything else, though,
they're lower tier. They're lower tier parks. True.
And the final question within our slot here: what coasters do you see coming in the next 10 years for Great Adventure and other parks?
Somebody will get a Giga if the economy comes back.
Giga, dive,
there'll be more dives.
It's pretty cool.
I would love to see Fiesta Texas getting like a Jersey Devil type coaster, but incorporating the Quarry Wall and stuff with it.
Well, they already have
I know. I'm saying though that would be really cool if they did something like that using the Quarry Wall.
Oh, like a they should do a hyper coaster off the Quarry Wall.
That would be nice.
I think we were talking about like the dive coaster, asking why it didn't go off the Quarry Wall. Jeff said it's just not stable enough to like warrant necessarily doing that.
It's pretty heavy. The dive coaster is pretty heavy. Yeah, heavy trains.
Right. All right. Well, with that, we're almost at 10 o'clock, which actually times up perfectly, like perfect 2-hour stream. I want to thank you all so much for the stream. This, just looking at my stats here on my side, this is the best stream we've ever had.
I'm
I
glad.
think we peaked at like 60 concurrent viewers, which is
I saw-
pretty high.
I saw
We're 36
68.
right now, which is way higher than we normally are. So thank you guys for this. Thank you, Sammy, Bob, Ace, and Tom for joining me on this. Hope you guys enjoyed yourselves. Thank you, everyone that sent super chats. Really do appreciate it.
Yep.
And of course, thank you, everyone participating in the chat. It's probably one of the longest chats we've ever had on stream. It's incredible how interested you guys are. And I definitely, like I've said, I plan on making some more videos on the whole Six Flags topic. It really is fascinating. There's so much to talk about. And, I mean, that's pretty much it. If you guys want to end out with some plugs, go right ahead.
Well,
There's
Go ahead.
Throwathon.
oh, you took.
Yes,
words out
we'll
of
see
my
you
mouth.
all at
The next-
Thrillthon.
That's
See
the
you at
next
Thrillthon.
one.
Yeah.
See you at Thrillthon. Absolutely.
Any social media plugs, go right
Okay.
ahead.
Built to Thrill, YouTube, Instagram. Go follow and sub. Up to Bob.
Oh, I already pimped myself enough. So go follow Midwest Coaster Thrills on Instagram. You're welcome, Lucas.
Hey. Ace.
That's Thrillathon.
Ace, you got to get it on the social media. You got to start an account.
Ace
Oh,
Spot-in.
oh, you know what? You know what? Ace Car.
No, an
On
Ace
what?
Spot-ins.
No, I'm saying on Facebook. You can just hit me on Ace Car.
Yeah, but Ace Spot-ins on Instagram, right?
Yeah, Ace, like King the Car, like Ace, K.A.
And then Ace
Car.
Spot-ins on Instagram.
Yeah.
All right, and
Yeah.
Tom.
Yeah, follow Tom's Tracks 99. You might get the occasional thing from me. I think I'm like 2 trip reports behind now because I wound up going last Monday for a bit after work, but nothing major. Maybe eventually I'll get around to posting that. So yeah, check it out. Yeah, that's about it.
But that's going to do it for tonight's stream. I hope you guys all enjoyed. Stay tuned for more content coming. I'm a little behind on the vlogs, but I'll catch up. And I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye,
See you in
guys.
Jersey.
Take care. See you at Thrillathon. Peace.